Yo, what's happening, people? You're listening to the Wresthings podcast, the Kenny Omega approved podcast. If you like what you're hearing, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, you already know this podcast is by the man them, for the man them. Bow!
What's up, people? It's your boy Mekz, the WrestleManiac, if you will, and you are tuned into the Wresthings podcast. Merry Christmas, first and foremost. Let me get that off. I hope you all enjoyed your Christmas time with your loved ones and your family, and you got all the gifts and presents that you wanted this Christmas. And we have one last present for you this year, and it is this week's podcast, the best of Wresthings 2022. We have compiled some of the best conversations, arguments, debates, the funniest moments into today's podcast, and I know you guys were asking for this, so here you have it. Now, before we get into today's podcast, firstly, if you are watching on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe and you hit the like button. We would appreciate that. And if you are listening on your audio platform of choice, why not give Wresthings a 5-star review? Let the people know how good this podcast is, and we can keep growing in 2023. That's enough of me for now. You guys tune in and enjoy this podcast. It is the best of Wresthings 2022.
Because even though there's like I'm having like really high matches, you know, like I've got a belt. I think I've got like a few more belt competitions coming up, and it's
you got. She's a women's champion.
Makes no favourite, man.
Champ! You can take one as well, man. Like,
Come and see favoritism.
Favoritism.
When I was holding it.
To me on the last
Can you see this behaviour?
Saying touching.
Can you see this behaviour?
Man said Dutty Bomboclart to who?
You're actually like a Dutty Bomboclart. I can't even lie. That's the name of the podcast, Dutty Bomboclart. You act like a Dutty Bomboclart.
Yeah, Dutty Bomboclart.
I love you. But no one's worthy to touch this title though. Obviously, Ava's a guest. You know, I had to give her, you know, the belt. You know what I mean?
I remember that.
Man
really said Dutty Bomboclart. What I'm saying. What Bomboclart means.
And I'll be coming for some more belts.
Ooh, talk.
So wait, what's on the horizon?
What's on the horizon? What are you looking for? What are you collecting? What belts?
Was it WrestleForce, right?
That's what I have, yeah.
Yes.
I am WrestleForce Women's Champion, which actually means a lot to me because it was like the first like promotion that I had, like that gave me like loads of bookings and started to get me like, so it's like that means a lot to me. That's like home.
Speaking of knocking out, can we see you on Bloodsport soon?
I mean, that's not for me. I saw Josh Barnett put something out saying that like wrestlers that want to be on Bloodsport should hit him up. So I'll say right now, hey Josh, you know where I'm at. I'm in California and I'm gonna be in Dallas, so I'll fight anyone. I don't care. Like, put my name in. Like, this is I'm not gonna, you know, you watch this and you decide whether you want me in. That's it. I'll put that out there.
Let's make some of this Bloodsport.
Yeah, shout out Bloodsport, man, because that's when I got like contacted about Terminus. I was ecstatic, bro, because that's what I love doing. Do you know what I mean? And any chance to promote that style, and I'd love to do the same thing on Bloodsport, you know, and like really showcase that and just put more of that wrestling out in the world, because it's kind of a niche thing, but more people are switching onto it now, you know.
Very quick, just going back to the mental health real quick. What are you doing to better your mental health? Like, what, since then, have you put anything in place that helps you keep it in check?
2 things. Well, I'll say right now, the past month has been crazy, just so busy, so I haven't had a chance to speak to my therapist. Right. But I sent him like therapy was the one, bro. Like just speaking to someone every week, like really helped. And this guy was like, he used to be a pro wrestler. His name, shout out Chris, my boy Chris, my therapist. But he used to do like a bit of wrestling like 15 years ago, so he knew like. He did shows with like Sheamus and Wade Barrett when they were like, when they were like not known.
You might have been on one of the shows.
Yeah.
So he used to go to like, what was it?
Like Butlins, yeah.
Well, I think he did like the pontins around Wales and stuff.
What a coincidence that your therapist used to be a wrestler.
I know, bro. I know.
I'm mad. No, sorry.
Everyone just zoned in.
It's picking up anyway, so
it's gone.
But yeah, therapy. And the second one that I've only really figured out this year is like mindfulness. Being being aware, bro, like being in the present, because I would just stress about so many things. And like even the other day, and this is what like helped me the other day when I was like, I had a bad patch and it like very overwhelming. I had a bit of a crash, and I just had to like, I had that nap, and I woke up, and I like had to take a step back out of the situation and be like, okay, like, the reason you're feeling this way is because you're seeing all these messages and stuff. So how can we like prevent you from like feeling those okay, turn off your phone. Like, just understanding that. Before it would be like all clouded and I was confused and didn't know. But he really like about mindfulness and like being in the present. And jiu-jitsu helped me with that too, because a lot of the time I was just thinking about, right, I want to Kimura this guy, or I want to armbar this guy. But I wasn't thinking about where I was at the moment. So I'd just go for it, and they could see it from a mile off.
Right.
So, but then, like, I read Hicks and Gracie's book, and it was talking about, like, you need to become, like, comfortable in uncomfortable positions. In terms of, like, if a guy's on top of you smashing, like, just get your... That sounded a bit wrong.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
No.
If a guy's on top of you, if a guy's on top of you in the full, if a guy's,
I'm gonna let you finish. On the real one. Man, like, I get
Hey, Josh Barnett did not do that to me. Let me get that out there. When a guy is on top in full mount in a jiu-jitsu context, trying to submit you, smashing you like Habib Nurmagomedov.
There we go.
I got that in there. I saw your tune change a little bit. I was like, no, I got to clear it. But when someone is in that position, like in a position like where they're in the advantage and they have a lot of options, like just getting like your frames in and being like, okay, this position, he can't submit me. Where am I gonna go here? Okay, I'm gonna try and bait him this way so I can get under, and like, and just being in the present is a really important one, and like, just not like there was that Michael Jordan documentary on Netflix.
Oh, The Last Dance.
Amazing. And it was one quote from that, like, I'm really bad with quotes, I never get it exactly right, but it was like, you miss all the shots that you don't take. I'll just say this right now. I'm going to say 4 people, but this is like, there's this thing, and like, I just see, I don't follow any like dirt sheets or anything like that, but I see people retweet shit, and I see that people are calling like a certain group of people in AEW the 4 pillars. And that is fucking embarrassing to me, like the fact that they are being like the 4 pillars, Taue, Kobashi, Kawada, Misawa, like, and the levels of the level of that, and then the 4 people that they're being called the 4 pillars of AEW.
I said this before.
How are you talking that? You're being a fan. You're being a mark for yourself. You're being an idiot. Like, you call yourself a 4 pillar. Shut the fuck up. Like, none of you are 4 pillars. What are the 4 pillars? It's like MJF,
Jungle Boy,
Daniel Garcia.
No,
Sammy Guevara,
and
Darby Allin.
Sammy Guevara.
Oh, bro, I was thinking of like different people. I've seen a different 4 pillar list.
The 4 killers. I think it's the 4 killers where it's like Lee
Garcia,
Moriarty,
Blackwoods, and Blackwoods. Kevin Blackwood.
Daniel Garcia, Lee Moriarty,
Kevin Blackwood, and
Wheeler Yuta
and Kevin Blackwood.
Right. Well, I mean, it applies to both of them, but like, you mean like, you put those 4, any 4 people in the world against Gabriel Kidd, Clark Connors, Alex Coughlin, Carl Fredericks.
It's not happening.
It's long.
Well, like, and like, people are like the 4 killers. Like, you think Lee Moriarty's gonna do shit? Let me just.
The MJF coin is shaking right now. MJF coin is shaking, fam.
Alright, I'm not gonna go into details, but MJF tried to fuck with me in 2019. I bitched him out, and if you got a problem with me, come and find me. Like, what's up?
Let's go.
Listen,
MJF coin is shaking.
But like everyone's talking about, and yeah, I can look at them and respect them as wrestlers. But when it's against me, and my team, it's a different story. But like, the people are talking about like Daniel Garcia and like Lee Moriarty, like the best technical wrestlers. Let me just first of all tell you one thing: I'm fucking British, bruv. Yeah! I am British wrestling. Like the shit that you study. The shit that you study is from my fucking home nation. Like, how are you gonna? And that's all.
fans are hot, man. They don't know.
But listen, like,
hot, man.
you think you're gonna out technically wrestle me? Like, it's not even a thing. So if you want to, come and do it. That is what I'm gonna say to them people. Like, they will be on my list because I just like
the whole pillar will be on your list.
all of them, fam. Everyone. Because I just don't like.
I respect.
Like,
The talk is different.
I don't. If you don't mention my name, yeah, whatever. But if like people are seeing you as a level above me when you are not, like that pisses me off, and that's my motivation. Like,
we need to do a pay-per-view. Wrestlings presents My Enemies Are After Me.
yes, yeah.
The Gabriel Kid Gordon, fam. He runs through all of them, fam.
Wrestle Kingdom 14 was Okada Ibushi and then Okada Naito.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, talk about your experience. Like, how was it being in the Tokyo Dome and just experiencing that?
So I've been to about 40 wrestling shows, which is insane to say out loud, but I've been to a lot of wrestling shows. And though I won't say that my favorite show I've ever been to was Wrestle Kingdom, I still think my favorite show is Joey Janela's Spring Break. That was the greatest wrestling experience I've ever had, because when you go to a whole different country, it's new culture, different language, different setting. Everything about the experience as a whole was just a whole new world. So you walk up to the Tokyo Dome, and first, it's this grand stage. You know the history. You know they've had historical events, not just wrestling, but pop culture and concerts and baseball. Like everything about the stadium in general. You know the history, and it's like, wow, I'm actually here. And then you walk inside. It's a big stadium. There's a bunch of things surrounding it too, but you walk inside. And when you first walk in and you see, and you can even see on the YouTube video I did, and you just see this lineup of all of these chairs and just seats and all these people walking in. And mind you, I'm black, and it's Japan. Ain't many black people in Japan. Ain't many representation in Japan. So I'm like, wow, it's like so many different people here. Like, this is insane. And then, mind you, I think I only saw like 2 black people my entire time in Japan, which was cool. But yeah, only 2 black people. It was cool to see those 2 black people, but not cool that I was only 2 black people. But besides the point, it's just breathtaking. When you first walk in and you get to your seat. Now, mind you, I sat in 2 different spots. So the first night, I sat on the floor. I sat about, I want to say 14 or 15 rows back from the ring. I do not recommend sitting on the floor for Wrestle Kingdom. If you ever decide to go, don't, unless you are 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, 1, like unless you're close to the ring, don't sit far back, because the chair, like the floor is level. It's not like a stadium where it's kind of like slanted and it starts going up this way, then it leads to the ring. It's a flat surface. So all the chairs are the same, which means that if you're sitting behind somebody who's taller than you, you're screwed. You're going to have to do this, or you're just going to be dead to look at the screen the entire, which is what I did. I either had to do this or I had to look at the screen, because I'm 5'8". I'm not the tallest guy in the world. The guy in front of me was like at least 6'1". So I was fucked. And everybody else in that row was kind of doing the same thing, because they realized, oh, wait, we're kind of in the back. But once you got to night 2, I was in the lower bowl, which is basically before you get to concession and right below the top level. That, I think, is like the golden point. If you're my height, if you're anywhere below 6 feet, that is the golden point, is sitting in that lower bowl, and you get to see just a great visual of everything, the ring, the stage. It was great. But the matches were all phenomenal. My favorite match from the entire show was Naito and Okada, which is, in my opinion, one of the greatest wrestling matches and one of the greatest storybook endings in professional wrestling. Yep. And I firmly believe, Forrest Silva said it first, I firmly believe New Japan could have just ended right then and there, and nobody would have questioned it. That was the end of a 6-year-long story between Okada and Naito. And once you continued on after that, New Japan just went downhill in quality.
What's the word? Crisis. Crisis. So
trouble in paradise.
We done a live stream, right? And we're leaving the live stream, and they all went straight on his phone watching the what do you call it? The press scrum, yeah. And Media Scrum, yeah. And Del must have said, "Yo, listen to what this guy's saying." I'm not deep in what this guy's saying, and he was literally saying, "Fuck this guy, fuck that guy." I was like, Is this like, is he sending for Moxley or whatever? So when I went to sleep, when I woke up next morning, yeah, my timeline was doing locomotive, fam. the chat with the group chat I was doing Locomotive, and for me to find out that, bro, he's literally just shot on everyone, bro, like on the next level. And I think one thing that stood out to me the most of what he said, yeah, I don't know what he was trying to mean with this, but once I say this, you guys do what you want to do with this, innit? Give me your thoughts on this as well. He said, yeah, I've got a business to run. I ain't got time to be fucking these young. What does that mean, bro? What does that mean? I've got a business to run. Is he like? Do you get what I mean?
You're not a shareholder, are you?
Tell me what that means.
You haven't got no shares in the fucking company, have you? So I don't know why you're even saying that in the first place.
What does that mean, bro?
You know what? I've heard. That he's got Tony Khan's ear.
Yep.
And that he's had Tony Khan's ear for a while, and that when he says that he's got a business, it's kind of like when Hogan had Bischoff's ear, and it got to a point where Bischoff would tell talent to speak to Hogan. If you want it approved, speak to Hogan. Like, that's what, when Punk said that, that's immediately what I thought. If he's saying he's got a business to run, it's like, who the fuck do you think you are to say that you got a business to run when you... It's like, I work for a company, and if I said that, it shows you how protective and how safe he feels at that point in time to say such a thing. It's so absurd. But, it was such a shit show, and him and Tony Khan should be ashamed of themselves. They really should. Like, they really disgraced AEW, and they disgraced themselves, especially Punk. Like, he lost a lot of goodwill with fans, and also his co-workers. From what I understand now, his co-workers, they've turned against him. He's got his guys on his side, but they're few and far between. There's only a couple of his guys that are actually even willing to take his side anyway, but the rest of the locker room aren't feeling him, like, at all.
I just feel like CM Punk just plays victim all the time. I'm fucking tired of it. All of his career, bro. It's just so pathetic now. I'm tired of it anyway, so I've never actually rated the guy. I've said this on so many podcasts, I've just not actually rated the guy. He thinks he's bigger than what he is, and he thinks he's bigger than wrestling, but bro, you got to beat him up in UFC how many times? I'm done.
Do you know what is that?
I'm tired. So I don't even mean to even relay that, but do you know what I mean? It's pathetic.
Do you know what I've gotten from all of this? My man's moved into someone else's house, rearranged their furniture, sat in their dad's chair, and said, "This is my house now, fam." He basically made himself landlord.
Basically. But, you just say something?
I'm waiting for Enke.
Yeah, Enke, I'm waiting for you.
Fam, you hear that hand rub?
I wasn't with you on
Leave him.
Sunday.
This guy's always been supporting CM Punk.
No, bro. Listen, have you been in GC?
Well, for the past couple of days, I have not been in the
Then
GC.
let Enke speak.
NK's finally joined the Grill AEW, the barbecue club.
Yeah.
Gas mark
I'm happy.
9.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me? I swear that. Hey!
Enke, I want to hear what you got.
And the thing is, what I want people to understand about this barbecue club, the barbecue club is run by AEW fans. We're not the guys that dislike AEW. We love AEW. That's why we need to marinate the lamb, the chicken. What else do you marinate? The corn, the prawns, everything. We're putting it in the batter.
Sausage.
We're lighting up the coal. We're getting to gas mark 9, and we're gonna cook this shit. NK, the spatula's yours, bro.
I'm not even gonna say nothing in this podcast. Believe me, I let everyone talk because this is lovely.
Phil Brooks, CM Punk, yeah, cool. I remember back when you were on WWE talking about you want an environment where people can come, and work and express themselves creatively wrestling, right? I remember the Pipe Bomb promo, you were saying, "Oh, I want to go New Japan, I want to do this." Cool. You fucked off. You left the industry, right? And then man them, like the Young Bucks, like Kenny Omega, like Adam Cole, like Cody Rhodes,
Tell him.
were killing shit in the industry.
Yep.
These were the man living their raps. All the stuff you said you wanted to do in terms of wrestle your way, put your name in the industry, these man were doing. These man built so much of a buzz to where now, cool, they sell out 10K shows, and they basically help fund AEW. Man, they're like Chris Jericho as well, and obviously John Moxley later on. So cool. These man build a company by themselves with the help of Tony Khan. They build a company, company's popping. Then you get invited in. You come in, you're enjoying yourself. By the end of the day, you're riding off other people's coattails. So when you say in the press conference, I'm working with men that haven't done shit, you ain't done shit. Because you're the one who's been talking. These men are actually been about it. True. These men are actually living their raps. These men are actually bet on themselves Didn't wait for no big corporation to fund them. They funded themselves and worked them way into a position where they're them guys. So when you talk about people like EVPs at the Bucks and and Kenny Omega, it's like, you're the cool. You may make the money. You may be the draw, rare tear. By the end of the day, from what it shows in your career, you can't bet on yourself. You can't be the guy who, cool, I'm going to build something from something. You're always waiting for someone to give you a handout. And when things don't go away, you sit in the corner and cry. You sit in the corner and cry and bitch. And here's the thing. AEW is supposed to be what you wanted, where everyone has freedom of expression. But the problem is, when freedom of expression happens, but it happens for things that are not in your favor, you start bitching. Because now everyone has freedom of expression. Do you know what I'm saying? You're not the only voice that matters now. Everyone else's voice that matters. So yeah, if somebody says something in a promo, cool. If somebody says something in a promo with Hangman Page, I understand why you're pissed about that. Cool. You do your little receipt on AEW, on Dynamite, cool, fair enough, you go tit for tat, fair enough. Why the fuck is that happening? Why the fuck are you still bringing it up on the press conference where the only source of information we're getting about this situation is from you?
Also to add, most of us only found out that promo was in regards to the Colt Cabana situation recently.
On Sunday.
We never would have known that was about Colt when that promo came out.
But
I've seen it on so many different theories and AEW videos talking about Hangman's reign and that feud. It was more so like, this is how the locker room's feeling, because remember we said this a few episodes ago that we felt like CM Punk was always a heel. None of us even knew that. None of us even knew this was about.
We
thought it was kayfabe.
I said it straight.
No, we felt we said that. We feel like maybe the wrestlers have this kind of sentiment, but we didn't know it was about Colt Cabana.
Oh, okay.
When I heard the things, I went back to watch the promo that Adam Page done. In my mind, I was thinking,
it's minor.
What does this have to do with Colt Cabana? This has, it doesn't seem like anything.
You advocate for workers' rights, but then there are certain like man in the locker room, you're pushing certain man out, and then it was very like subtle.
Just him saying that I'm not just defending this title, I'm defending AEW from you.
Okay, fair.
And the thing is,
like
when I watched it,
been saying.
So when I saw CM Punk's face during that promo, I was like, okay, I see that he's feeling the type of way about this, but for the most part, I never would have guessed it was about
Colt. By the end of the day, yeah, that situation can be handled backstage, even if you don't have a personal, even if you're like, cool, Tony, I don't work with Adam Page, it's unprofessional. I hear it. Perfectly fine. But then you're putting metric tons of gasoline on the fire by going on a press conference, naming man by name, and you say you talk about these men being unprofessional leaking. You're being unprofessional by literally exposing this to the media who are just speculating. Now,
just to add as well, Dave must also confirmed that Young Bucks never leaked anything to them as well.
Yeah. So that.
Do you know what I'm saying? So you're putting gas in the fire. You're naming people. You're outing people. And here's the thing about this. Before your arrival in AEW, of course, every company has its little grievances with talent. You know, big swell, whatever. But for the most part, we can assume that it was a harmonious locker room from the reports we get. Like, do you know what I'm saying? As soon as you come in, things go to shit. Now we're adults. There are multiple sides to a story. Rare I hear it. But that press conference shit came out of nowhere because the Bucks have been silent. The guy you named, Hangman's been silent. Kenny's been silent. Colt Cabana's been silent. The only person that's publicly spoken on this situation outside of like a promo that could be interpreted is you. You're the one who flat out said everything. So all the backlash and all the negativity and vitriol is gonna come to you, Punk. And here's the thing. It's like AEW is exactly what you've wanted in terms of what you've said before. You wanted a work environment where, you know, you can be yourself, you can be free, you can be unrestricted.
To build younger talent and so on and so forth. But then you're moving like the bitter old grumpy man that, why does nobody respect me? It's like, the man them do it. Because I remember even in the thing, I know I'm going on.
No, keep going.
Talk your shit.
Because I watched the thing in depth. Even in the post media scrum, yeah, he got pissed off that by interview that Hangman did, saying Hangman basically said, I don't really take advice from all the veterans.
Is that when he said he's a fuckhead?
No, that was after. So, but he basically said, who the fuck is Hangman Page to like not take advice from veterans? Imagine if I said that to Terry Funk, right? Imagine if I said that to Terry Funk. And it's like, cool, you may think Hangman's arrogant. You may think all of that. But why the fuck do we need to know? This is deep it.
That's private conversation.
Deep it. You just won the title. Talk about that.
MJF is back. talk about
that, and then also you even just buried MJF when he came back, because even though I may feel something in work here that MJF's whole situation is unprofessional, and I do hear it to agree that if you think the way MJF handled is unprofessional, that's on you, that's fine. You know you're gonna work an angle with this guy. Why the hell are you calling him unprofessional? And the thing is, we don't even give you grace of kayfabe because you just went on a shoot rant about Colt Cabana, who's not even in the company anymore, and the EVPs and Adam Page. It don't make no damn sense. And the thing is, like, basically, you've come back. The layup was there. It was there.
Easy.
CM Punk in AEW was beloved.
Easy.
Like, there's no... I don't understand where this anger and bitterness and vitriol comes from. Because like he said, you make the most money. The crowd is cheering you. You're in your hometown. Why the hell are you thinking about Adam Page's situation that happened months ago when you just won the title?
So, this is what... I've listened to Solo Monster, correct me if I'm wrong. If you listen to the new Solo Monster episode, he explains it. He says that how, when the interview started, someone mentioned something about him being Colt Cabana's friend. Or someone asked.
I remember. No, it wasn't that. Basically, he asked, Knowledge will correct me, he basically...
So someone was in the crowd and said, oh, you're Colt Cabana's friend.
Yeah, he basically pointed out someone and said, oh, you Colt Cabana's friend, and then he went...
It was Nick Hausman.
Who's that?
Punk came out, Nick Hausman works for...
Yeah, he works for...
Nick Hausman works for Wrestling Inc. He used to be really good friends with Colt Cabana. But Punk came out with a chip on his shoulder. He came out wanting to rant. It's like he came out. When you watch... Don't watch the one in the AEW feed. If you watch the one that the other journalist taped, he comes out and he sits down and he immediately starts talking to Brian Alvarez about something that Brian had said on one of his shows. And as soon as he came out, he was ready. And no one brought up Colt Cabana. It was him that brought up. It was him that brought up Colt Cabana. He was the one that wanted to talk about it. It was him that went on the rants about Colt Cabana sharing a bank account with his mum and all sorts of stuff.
That's a low blow.
That was one for me, bro. That was like, nah, done. You know, and what's mad is that Tony Khan, Tony Khan faced the whole interview. It was like he was pulling these facial expressions. I'm like, it's like a facial expression when you're getting told off. We've got kids, right? You see when you turn off your son. Your son's like. He was doing those facial expressions. I'm like, bro, say something. This is your company.
It's like Tony Khan is hearing that, he's thinking, shit, this is bad. I need to intervene. But I'm not intervening. And it's like, bro, this is embarrassing.
Like, for example, if
the inmates are running the asylum at this point.
Yeah. We save each other all the time. One of us say something mad, yo, take that out.
Just be like,
done.
Even if it was like, yo, cut the mic.
Done.
And cut the mic, yo.
Even a simple tap, like, yo.
Even nudge.
Bro, I've said it before. Tony Khan, he needs to start running his company with an iron fist. That's what blacks. Took you round, my mouth.
Just say how it is.
He was sitting there, and when Punk was talking about the Young Bucks, and he was talking about they think it's Reseda, and which was totally just, the Young Bucks are a big fucking deal in wrestling. Them working in front of 400 people in Reseda was a long time ago. The same way that CM Punk wrestling for Ian Rotten in front of 40 people was a long time ago. But when he was talking about that, fucking Tony was sitting there nodding his head, like. Yeah, so what are you nodding your head for? Imagine being Nick and Matt Jackson watching that on the monitor backstage and watching your boss nodding.
It's enabling behaviour. I can't lie.
It is. It's enabling, and I'm a proponent for Tony Khan, as in, I think whatever he's done, I think he's done fantastic things in wrestling. To have the success that he's had in such a short period of time is amazing. It really is. But there's only so much that I can defend. Because a lot of people give him shit for stuff that I don't think is warranted. I think a lot of them, if they understood more, I don't think they would. But in this instance, I can't defend it. And in this instance, he really fucked up.
Bad. You see the John Moxley thing as well, where like John Moxley's first lost in a couple. What's it? In how long? He hasn't been pinned in a very long time. After CM Punk goes, is that true? And he goes, yeah, it's true. And the CM Punk pulled a weird face. And after Tony Khan was like, do you get what I mean? It's like...
Well, Moxley did a promo a couple of weeks ago where he kind of relayed the sentiments that Eddie Kingston has said a few months ago about CM Punk as well, because Eddie Kingston cut a promo on CM Punk, which was pretty similar to the one that Adam Page cut, just a bit more brutal. And Moxley did one recently as well. But the truth is that looking back on it, Adam Page said something in a promo, fine. You got your receipt when you came back, fine. That should have been it. Really. That should have been it. Okay? But then, really, Tony Khan rewarded him for his behaviour anyway.
Yeah.
You know, he rewarded CM Punk anyway by giving him a world title and beating Moxley when really Moxley was doing a perfectly fine job as world champion. He really was. He was having good matches, numbers were fine, you know, and he's done that. This used to happen in WCW when guys used to do shit on television. Bischoff used to suspend them on full pay. All right, on full pay, you fucked up, go home, and you'll be at home for 2 weeks on full pay. You don't have to work. A lot of guys did it anyway. Yeah, great. I'll go home for 2 weeks, and I'll come back and do it again. And that's what Tony Khan's done. Really, he should have reprimanded Hangman for that. And then when Punk did it, he should have done that as well. But when you let it slide, you're kind of just rewarding him. And now your hard-working guy, he's kind of been forgotten.
100%.
You know, no one's talking about Moxley and Punk, and that was a really good match. I watched it. I didn't watch it live. I watched it after, but it was a really good match. And no one's talking about it.
And you've overshadowed it. Here's the problem I have as well. Insane, because Punk's whole thing was that cool. I remember about Hangman. You almost fucked up the match, right, by doing something. That shit's unprofessional. But you've actually taken away from the pay-per-view you've just had.
Yeah. A pay-per-view that's already had mixed reviews as it is anyways. And it's had a few highlights that are worth talking about more so than CM Punk winning the title. It
was too fucking long. That's the problem. Like,
oh, bro,
it's too fucking long. Good show, too long. Cut about 4 of those matches. Would have been fine.
I don't want to compared to what. Look at me. Compared to what I saw on Saturday with Clash of the Castle, which was nice, easy viewing, for like 3 hours, right? Yeah. Basically 3 hours. Apparently that singing thing wasn't meant to show on TV.
Oh, swear.
It was meant to cut. The broadcast was meant to cut after that.
But remember, they had so much time to film.
Yeah, that's the reason they showed it.
I don't know. It's different. They're different business. Those two shows, they're totally. One of them is for pay-per-view. The other one is already bought. It's like, you know, it doesn't matter how long. I mean, it doesn't. The content on one show is kind of like you're offering value for money for $50. The other one.
I'll say much better. I feel like I was watching a long Dynamite episode then. Because some of the matches didn't need to be on there.
A lot of them didn't, and that's the problem that he's done over the last few pay-per-views, that he's given people more value for their money. It's like, you pay $50, you get all this, and really, the people pay $50 even if you give them 8 matches instead of 15. 15 matches is a long fucking show, and after, you know, the audience gets tired after a while.
And plus, it's the third show in the same market.
Yeah, so that's another thing.
It's the third show in the same bloody market, bro. It's like
in less than a week.
Deep it. They did Forbidden Door, Chicago. They've done All Out Chicago. Then they've been in Chicago for
that whole week.
For that whole week, bro. Anyways, but
a lot of those fans have gone to 3 shows that week. So it's, you know,
how many years? You know what I'm saying? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, the pay-per-view's too long, but that's another story. But the truth is that I think that we're at a stage now, and I don't know as of right now, everyone's been suspended. We don't know what's going on with CM Punk, but I honestly feel that after the stuff that's happened recently, the stuff that's happened since he's shown up, and the backstage fight that he perpetrated, like, I think wrestling needs to be done with CM Punk. I think wrestling needs to shut the door on that chapter and leave it. Because if he goes,
he's not going anywhere.
Triple H ain't going to want it, at least for now. Triple H won't touch him. Maybe in a couple of years, whatever, when, you know, you need something, fine.
Hall of Fame.
No,
20 years time, Hall of Fame.
In 2 years, in a year or 2 years.
Just his final run. Have a decent run.
Yeah,
and
people
then fuck off.
People forget about this. He'll come back just like it this time. They want to think he's really nice or whatever. They'll ratings be down during football season. Yeah, Punk.
Exactly. One of the greatest of all time.
No, but you know what? After that, CM Punk being let go, would that be a major blow to wrestling?
Impossible.
No.
Yeah. It would. So, he's the biggest star in AEW. When I say that, he's CM Punk. I'm pretty sure, I haven't checked for a while, he's the biggest merch seller in wrestling. No one sells as much merch as CM Punk in wrestling.
What, in recent history?
In recent history, or what?
In the last 12 months.
Okay.
Oh, okay. In the last 12 months.
I was about to say,
in recent
history, Cena sold more merch.
No one sold more t-shirts than
sold
Steve
way
Austin
more
and Hulk
merch.
Hogan. And the NWO t-shirt too. Like, the NWO was like the fourth.
Cena sold more merch than Punk.
Yeah, obviously he's had a longer run. He had a longer run, but I mean, like, so I mean, he would be a massive loss to AEW. But at the same time, would he be
forwards? They can still go.
They'll be fine. They lost CM Punk for 2 months. They were fine. You know, if they lost the Bucks and Kenny Omega, the company is called All Elite Wrestling.
It's the material.
I don't even feel like CM Punk is even like outside of his return. I don't even think he's like anything that CM Punk has done is even a top 10 moment in AEW.
I think so. I think the feud of MJF.
Besides his return,
but I mean, in terms of, outside of the feud, I'm talking like in like moments and matches.
Oh no.
His return outside of that. But would you put them top 10 in AEW history?
Of course.
Compared to a lot of the matches that's happened.
No, yeah, the matches.
I don't think he's ever had a match that's even better than MJF and Darby.
Besides his return,
Matches, maybe a moment itself.
Promos and angles.
Okay, promo, yeah, but a moment. His return is probably number one.
No, his moment.
His moment is probably his return is probably the best moment in AEW.
That was one of the best things I've ever seen in wrestling. Yeah, it was fantastic. And you know, a couple of promos that he's had, the segment with Kingston, the stuff with MJF, he's been fantastic in that respect. His matches, he had a few good matches too. But you know, I don't care.
It's put it this way. Nobody's worth jeopardizing because and here's the thing. You look at the report about who was involved in the fight. You got obviously the elite. You got Michael Nakazawa. You've got Christopher Daniels,
Brandon Cutler,
and Michael Nakazawa. They were there. They were there. And at this stage, you have to kind of send everyone home so you can investigate what's going on. So Daniels was there. He was there. Cutler was there.
Brand Daniels.
Pat Buck was there. So it's,
didn't he just only get a job like a few months ago?
Yeah, but I mean, he's there. He's an agent. He probably wanted to break it up. So he's a witness. So you got to get rid of him just to investigate people. But you know, nothing like this had ever. CM Punk is one of these guys where it's like, this shit follows him throughout his career, and like, you know, he seems to blame the WWF thing when he was there and he left. I agreed with him on that because I think that I actually admired the fact that he walked out. I really do, because you walk away from that much money to go and try something new. I really admire that. And when he left, the reasons why he left, fine,
admirable.
Yeah, I hear you, fine. And you know what, I'm like, cool. But then you come here and you bring that with you. You bring that with you. It's like, you know, you're a man of the people. You're righteous. You're this and you're that. And then you show up, and as soon as you come in, all this fucking starts happening.
It's almost like
you're a connie. You're a con man.
This is how communists come into power. This is how tyrants get power. They say they're for the people. Once you give them that title, boom,
I think it's almost
they
like
oppress.
The way he's presenting himself is almost like, because you're shit from the WWE, you think you're almost bigger than everyone else. Even in his promos, I've fought a better John. I've done this. I've done that. But this is the same company you walked away from. This is the same company that apparently treated you like shit. Do you know what I mean? When you want to come to AEW and use these promos like you've been the man. You weren't even a fucking man like that. Actually, you were the man in WWE.
He was.
Okay, go on. I'm
not a fan of him, but I'm not going to lie.
I'd like to. No, I can't discredit that. No, I can't.
No, here's the problem, though. It just seems, it's like, and the thing is, you've had the right now with AEW, like I said before, you had the opportunity to right the wrongs of the past. Like, a lot of people, whether you're a WWE fan or not, we're looking at CM Punk like, okay, he's had a history of being a troublemaker, you know what? AEW's a clean slate. He seems to be getting along with people. Do you know what I'm saying? He's older, he's wiser. You know what? And this is a company that's set up for him in terms of like, cool, because Tony Khan has always said, I wanted CM Punk in AEW from the beginning. Mm-hmm. So it seems like, cool, you got your wish in terms of being considered as a top guy. Mm-hmm. Being the top guy is also, you have to act like it. You have to hold the company down. And this is why, like, in terms of you dissing the elite, like, obviously I'm a Kenny Omega fan, I'm a Young Bucks fan, but the reason why, you forget even the name, when these men were in the pandemic, when AEW was in the pandemic era, these were the guys that were holding it down. Yep. These were the guys that were carrying the main titles. Yep. These were the guys that were working, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, these men literally kept this shit afloat, because a company surviving a pandemic within their first year is outrageous. Yeah. And this is down to the talent that was there. So at the end of the day, you might not like them, but professionalism, the word you like to use a lot, professionalism should dictate that, let me keep these man name out of my mouth, because at the end of the day, these man ran this shit when I wasn't here. I might not like them personally, and I will handle that backstage. But you don't come and discredit these man, call these man unprofessional, call these man fuckheads or whatever you call them. Bruv, what that does here is that it discredits them, man. And also, why should I now see you fight these man later on in the future when you have to do business with them? Yeah. Why should I watch?
Yeah, it's no correlation.
Because it's not even a promo. It's like you've painted these man. It's defamation of character. Yeah. It's actual defamation of character, which again is the highest degree of unprofessionalism, which ironically is the issue you have with these man. It's like, when Punk said I have to stoop to their level, you didn't go to their level. You went to the fucking ground. because cool, you want tip for that promo for promo, end it there, keep it stepping.
He's a stupid idiot.
At a presser where you won the title.
You know what? Punk is
in probably the best match you've had in AEW.
All right, you guys want our law? In our own minds, we believe we actually re-summoned Jeff Jarrett into wrestling.
How do you mean? What? Talk to me.
Okay, so basically, throughout the course of while we've been doing our show, for some reason we don't know how, whatever topic we're on, somehow, in most cases, Jeff Jarrett comes up.
So on your stable, on your...
So Jeff Jarrett has just kind of become our, like, wrestler.
Like 6 degrees of Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah,
he's basically our Babatunde.
Yeah.
So
basically, we created a thing called the 6 degrees of Jarrett, which is how far removed the wrestler is from a match with Jeff Jarrett.
Okay.
Have you ever done, like, people being in a film with someone else and how far you are from Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
We figure with Jeff Jarrett, you can get to most people in about three matches.
That's strokes.
Let's think of someone then. Who can we think of as a wrestler?
Okay.
3 degree separation from Jack Swagger.
Jack Swagger, yeah.
That's easy. What, Jack Swagger?
Okay. I'm gonna say we don't count multi-man matches because that's the easy way out. Okay, so you got Jack Swagger. So then Jack Swagger surely had a match with Rey Mysterio.
Yes.
At some point.
Have a match with Matt Hardy at ECW.
Who?
Jack Swagger. Matt Hardy.
Oh yeah, probably did.
Okay,
yeah.
Then you go
Yeah, the match with Hardy, yeah.
You go to Matt to Jeff, and then Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, let's see. There you go.
That's it. Matt to Jeff, and then Jeff to Jarrett.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's think of someone a bit harder.
All right, let me pop out cage match.
New Jack.
Ooh. New Jack. I reckon you can do that.
I think you can do that in two. New Jack and Shane Douglas and Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
Wheeler Utah.
Okay, that's hard.
Wheeler Utah. Oh, bloody hell.
Okay.
That's easy.
Let me whap out cage match for this.
Someone's definitely wrestled. No,
we're not going to count multi-man.
No.
We can't do the Hardy family.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like...
Yeah. So it's him. I saw he's had a match with Effie.
No? We've just created a monster on this podcast.
Yeah, we have.
Mumbling, trying to figure this out.
Yeah, he's
connected to everyone.
For the next 2 hours, we're going to talk about the 6 degrees of Jeff.
That's strokes.
He's actually wrestled there, man.
Who? Jeff Jarrett?
Yeah.
Okay. Will Utah hasn't actually had a recorded match with Effie.
What? Are you sure?
But someone's had the match with Effie that Will Utah's had the match with.
Yeah. So
yeah.
JD Drake.
JD Drake and Will Utah most definitely have had a match.
I imagine that JD's had
JD Drake has had a match with everyone. So.
Yeah. Got to have had a match with Effie.
Okay.
I was going to say,
okay, so yes, Wheeler Utah had a match with JD Drake.
Yeah.
JD Drake to Effie to Jeff Jarrett.
I'm gonna throw one out. I'm gonna throw Bruiser Brody. I wonder.
Bruiser Brody.
Now here's the thing: has Stan Hansen had a match with Jeff Jarrett? That's a real legitimate question. That could be a good Jeff Jarrett's early career.
Hey, do you know anything with notice off he said?
Yeah, knowledge.
Yeah. Pick up. I'll just say, oh yeah, no.
This is why cage match comes in so handy for City.
Because I legit, I might have broken the cycle with Bruiser.
I'm taking a bold strategy.
Mm-hmm. Is there a website for this?
No, I'm just using.
No, not cage match. You put a wrestler's name and off, you can find a troll to them. Because there's one on TikTok though.
We're gonna need to throw that out to the ether.
You can go from Bruiser Brody to Junichiro Tenryu. And then Junichiro Tenryu had a match with a tag team match with the Great Kabuki against Bob Orton Jr. and Jeff Jarrett.
There you go. That
Tenryu match was in 1990.
There you go.
Was it for wrestling and romance by any chance?
SWS.
Dang it.
Super World of Sports.
Yes.
I legitimately thought we had it there.
Let's try to think of one more wrestler.
Before we head out, yeah?
Yeah. Has to be off left field. Like, we have to make these men work.
I got a good one. What's that Nigerian wrestler?
Oh, not Power Uti.
Yeah, it's probably that's a dumb one. He's going to connect quickly. Or connect.
I was going to say
Gallows. He's going to find.
Bruno Sammartino.
I think that's probably easier because Bruno,
Tallari.
I don't care if he's dead. He's still fighting now.
Sorry? Bruno Sammartino to Larry Zbyszko. Surely Jeff's had a match with Larry.
Should I do Bruno Sammartino?
Yeah,
that's too easy. I think that's low key.
What about this guy here? Isaiah Scott.
Okay.
Isaiah Scott. Let's go.
Shane Strickland. Big up you, bro.
Has he gone with AJ Styles? I'm wondering.
Yeah, he has.
He has had a match with AJ.
There you go.
In TNA.
That's it. Done. Done.
I think I remember that match. It came on Bravo years ago.
Okay. So,
are you going to find an even more random one?
Well, I was going to say, can I just go off the bat with just direct?
I'm sure there's a match with Shane. I'm sure.
WrestleCon Super Show 2016. Brian Myers, Jeff Jarrett, Jessica Havoc, Luke Hawks, and Sanjay Dutt defeat Candice LeRae, a person I won't name, Matt Striker, Tommy Dreamer, and Shane Strickland.
There you go.
Hold on.
That's crazy. I can't. That's a fun game to play.
Hold on. 2016, this happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not.
Wow.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, we'll do that at the end of the road.
Know what I mean?
Segway. Segway. End of the road. Cody Rhodes. What's going on, fam?
It's done. It's done.
Is it though?
I'm disappointed.
You said something yesterday that really like hit me, bro. It feels like, you see when Van Persie moved to Man United.
Yeah.
It feels like that. You don't swear.
It's transfer season.
Good
It's
things come
transfers.
to an end, man.
It's transfer season. I've been reading a lot of reports. Big up.
There's a lot of fragmented stuff. I can't lie.
There's
a lot of
It's
BS.
all opinion based.
It's,
at the minute.
yeah, not a lot of people know exactly the reason why or how this is happening.
Just a lot of speculation.
All I know from the different sources I've gone to, whether it's Wrestling Observer, whether it's Fightful, whether it's all of them sources, is that cool. But with this Cody Rhodes situation, to be fair, when you look back at some of the promos he was cutting and rare tear, in hindsight, yeah, you can see it coming. But at the time, when I woke up, I was like, right, he's definitely gonna resign. But somebody said it, I think Brian Alvarez, but Cody, I think, has the ambition to where, listen, he believes in himself to the point where he's gonna go to the company that initially, by his words, mistreated him, and he's gonna go back there and he's gonna invest in himself even more. And that's kind of been Cody's MO ever since he left WWE. He's always bet on himself. He's always been the type of person, I'm like, I'm going to do this. And when he went to the Indies, everyone was like, listen, you're not going to survive out there. He more than survived. Then he did All In. Then he became like one of the faces of AEW. Obviously, now with the new acquisitions, and even as we were watching AEW throughout the months, we were always saying Cody's stuff feels like it's in its own.
Can I just say something as well, adding on to that? I just feel like over the months, from a fan watching AEW, I feel like it's not become. Okay, at the beginning it was very elite. Everything was elite. Like the Young Bucks, these men will be there always featured on the episode, or even just have like.
So they favoured the internet fan base.
Saying?
Like if it favoured the internet fan base. If you knew who the guys were, then you'd enjoy
elite.
yourself.
But now it's just become a TK show. It's become cool. Just grab this person. Just grab this person. I want to be on cover. I want to be there. Even though he doesn't show himself on TV, but the whole thing of after when the show's finished, he comes out, he does a whole speech, blah, blah, blah. It's become the TK show rather than his sort of show. So I think that's another reason why Cody's probably... I'm just probably just putting stuff together and I shouldn't be doing this, but another reason Cody's like, you know, I can't bother.
I feel like, I mean, some of his complaints was apparently is just that he wanted to get paid the big bucks. And to be fair...
Because of Brian and CM Punk, innit?
And I feel like, I mean, he's an EVP, so he should be having a certain amount of stroke.
EVP, Executive Vice President.
Yeah. And I feel like he's well within his right to ask for the P's he deserves, because if he played a vital part of this company even being a place where people like a Punk or Dan Bryan could even, Brian Danielson could even come down to. So,
and he's putting AEW out there as well. He's got a flipping reality TV show, which is not even tied to AEW.
Yeah.
Well, AEW owns it.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that it's extracurricular activities. He's basically putting his life out there for the sake of what? Promote AEW as always, obviously.
Yeah, it always goes back to AEW.
It always goes back to AEW. Do you get what I mean? Do you guys get what I mean? Is that today if I said, oh, cool.
To go Big Show as well.
To go Big Show, exactly. So if I said to you, oh, okay, cool, Versi, I want to do a thing about your life, but in the same time, you're going to get behind the scenes of wrestling as well as you're like, bro, do you get what I mean? That's extracurricular activities.
Essentially, he's doing more than what he's been asked to do in it, and he wants to be repaid for that. or he wants to get.
From the
I mean, we don't know if.
Yeah, from
it sounded like.
From the reports I've read, yeah, it's not concrete that it was genuinely just about money. I don't, like, obviously we don't know. Like I said, all the reports are none of them are conclusive in it, but it's interesting. The one report that was like that sparked the most conflict was the Wade Keller one about Brandy Rhodes, about how she's quote unquote not liked in the locker room. Now
that's fake news, man.
Yeah, a lot of the AEW talents and even people like Meltzer and others were like, nah, we can't confirm that because she's polarizing to a certain degree, but there are a certain subset of people that like her. And also,
Wade Keller also has a history of degrading black women.
Exactly. Let's not try and make this a
really?
Try and make this into an angry black woman story.
Yeah, and also as well
that.
in regards to like the whole divide between him and the elite, the reports were saying this was consistent across all publications that the elite and Cody were on the best of terms like for the last couple months. So like they've been on amazing terms. I don't think it's necessarily like I don't think it's even like locker room friction. I just think it's just at the end of the day, business is business. I just feel he just feels like, do you know what? Of course, he definitely there was a part of him that wanted to stay at AEW. That's why the negotiations happens, and both sides just couldn't reach a mutual agreement. It's just business at the end of the day.
Probably conflict.
And I feel like, do you know what? I don't feel, and this maybe just me being idealistic. I don't feel like this is the last time we'll see Cody in AEW.
No, it's not.
I don't feel. And you know what? If he wants to go to WWE and say, do you know what? Let me try this out. Like, regardless of like my personal opinion, I might think this, I might think that. If that's what he wants to do, that's been consistent with Cody's character. He's always been the person who's bet on himself. He's always been a person to gamble and take risks. Even the whole all-in thing, that was a big risk. Massive risk. AEW is a massive risk.
It's because I think Meltzer said at the time that you can't sell out the stadium, and he was like, "Alright, bet," and then he did it.
But I don't really personally agree that he should go WWE though.
Why not?
He'll be a Stardust again. I feel
no, you know what?
I feel. Don't get excited because he's had such a great run in the independents, bro. This is Vince McMahon, bro. Man will easily just degrade him back again.
That's my point. You know why? Because I feel like this is Vince's way of being like, oh, we've got something from AEW. Now you're back in my kingdom now, and in my kingdom, it's me.
Exactly.
That decides what happens, and he can be like, this is what I think about AEW.
You have to remember, there's new fans as well. A lot of people are not going to know who Cody
Jobbing
Rhodes
on
is.
main event.
As much as you think. As much as you think.
A lot of people not going to know Cody Rhodes is.
Not like that. I'm telling you. Not as much. Okay, he will get the pop.
I don't think,
but it won't be a crazy pop.
I just don't think a lot of people care about who he is.
There we go. I think that's what
the thing is. I feel like people are jumping the gun a bit. Like I'm hearing people saying, it's like WCW in the 90s again. It's not.
It's
you
not.
Don't actually know what the plan is for Cody
It's
Rhodes.
not.
For me, I want him to be able to go to WWE and have a successful career just because of the results of what he's been able to do outside of WWE. He should be rewarded for, you know what? He's a big star outside of WWE. He should be able to come into WWE and be like, you know what? Let's put him against the stars, the top stars in WWE. But we've seen time and time again that people have gone into the independents. They've had a killing of a career.
Exactly.
They've killed it in Impacts. They've killed it in Mexico, Japan.
We can name so many
but when they
names.
now come to WWE, what are they doing? They're squirting water guns.
Exactly.
Drip, drip.
Come on.
As I'll say this, for every Drew and Lashley, there's a Mustafa Ali where they do well for a bit and then they get bored and then suddenly you're just jobbing. You're not seeing it, and the Ricochet.
And then they get released.
Yeah, they get released.
I totally understand, and even that's why I'm skeptical about him going to WWE. But Cody, for example, Cody's somebody that will go into WWE and make a certain amount of money. Like he's not going. Like he's going to be one of their a high earner. And you look at it from a business perspective. Yeah, it's like cool. You're paying this man this much money. Why not utilize them? I know it's WWE, they got money to spend. But initially, we know how it is with WWE pushes. The first maybe month or so, to the moon, we think everything's high. It's whether they can maintain it is the question. But I feel like Cody Rhodes will go into WWE, and the initial first 4 to 6 weeks, we're going to be like, this is interesting. It's what happens from there. And with that, there's no guarantee with WWE, given the track record and the history, that it's going to pay off.
Sometimes it's even opposite. Sometimes they come in and they have nothing to do with them. And then maybe 6 months down the line, then they put them in an interesting storyline for maybe 2-3 weeks. And after that, they just disappear.
But I think just optically from business here, but this is the first time that a major AEW star has gone that way. And this is and this is going to be the first time, that WWE have had someone from AEW, and it's going to be a message. This is an opportunity for WWE to send a message. If Cody goes to WWE, right, and does all of that, and does like an amazing run, a lot of the AEW guys whose contracts are running up are gonna start thinking
they're gonna
twice.
jump ship.
They're gonna use an example.
They're gonna start thinking twice. But if Cody goes to WWE and it reaffirms the preconceived notion that people have about WWE that they'll bury you,
They're not going to.
it's gonna like I'm saying it's gonna root it. So like WWE is too big to fail. It's never gonna fail their business. But in terms of the market right now, it's always been to AEW because AEW is the fresh, product, and morale there for the most part is high. But if Cody can go to WWE, he can be the signifier to not only AEW talent but indie talent and be like, yo, you know what? I've done my thing. It's not as the grass ain't because the percentage of WWE, the grass ain't green. To a lot of these wrestlers, the grass is black. To a lot of these wrestlers, so Cody can be the beacon and be like, no, the grass is green here, come through. But it's down to perception. Though I know how Twitter is. Twitter's gonna get gassed over a month, and it's like it's not about the month. It's about let's use 6 months to a year to really see what this guy is gonna do over there.
Do you know what it says then? I think really and truly, this isn't really about Cody. It's about he's a pawn in all of this.
Yeah.
Because everyone that's watching is gonna watch, like you said, how Cody's used. If he's used well, then that's gonna people like Wardlow and MJF are gonna sit there going, this could be me. But then if he gets shagged, then there's a message saying like, we don't care about AEW. This is what will happen if you come over here. We're still the big dog here. You're done at it.
And let's also remember that not everybody is Cody. Like Cody is sure shot.
Cody's
Guys
his
go
own
to
brand,
the main
he's his own
roster.
With
Someone
Cody-
like Wardlow, someone like Jade, who they look at as like fresh new upstarts. They might say, you know what, we want to poach this talent in a few years' time. But who's to say that person's not going to be jumping and wrestling on NXT level up? Do you know what I mean? So there's no guarantee of anybody. It's all very much a micro situation with each person. It's not a macro where everybody that's going to jump ship is now going to go into WWE and be successful.
And that's what I think about
to like WWE. Those who have left WWE, we've seen it. There's been a range of people being at the top, and then people that are on.
But that's what I find worrying about.
It's business, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's why I find worrying about WWE because that's the whole thing about it. It's such a dream seller where it's like there's so many possibilities. You could be like, oh, you could be main eventing with Roman, you could be doing this, but then you could also be on Level Up. You could be dying to death on main event. You could just be in an opening match. You could be being rolled up, chasing for a 24/7 title. Like that's how they sell it to you. It's just like going to big WWE. You can do so many things, but you can also do really shit.
But what NK said as well, he's got a point. What they do with Cody Rhodes will really send a message to people about whether they should jump ship or not. Because Cody right now, he has leverage. From what he's been able to do since leaving WWE. He's been gone for 6 years. Because of him, there's now a rival company to WWE. So there is a threat to WWE because of Cody Rhodes. So how they handle him is really going to determine what's going to happen in the future of like other talents and stuff.
Do you think Cody will take some sort of... he's not going to be an EVP WWE, but do you think he's going to take a backstage role in the company? Do you feel like that's something...
I think he should.
could
You know
be a
why?
possibility.
They might sell it to him to be like, stay here. This will be your home. But I don't think he's...
The thing is, I wouldn't be surprised if they do post something to him like, okay, you know what? You've got your nightmare family school that you're doing.
That's still going to be attached to the thing.
It's just school. You can do what you want to. Do you know what I mean? Like, as much as he was
Like basically made it a feeder system for
it could be a feeder system similar to like what Evolve used to do. WWE used to send people to Evolve and then vice versa. So it could be a thing where it's like, you know what? Me and QT are still running it. Maybe we can send some to AEW and some to WWE, and then because obviously at the end of the day, all these wrestling companies are still going to need development talent to feed for dark matches and for squash matches. So either way, it's just depending on what Cody actually wants to do. Like, what's his actual vision for when he does go back to WWE? If he goes back to WWE,
You know what? If Lashley can put in his contract, he wants a WWE title. Cody Rhodes can do the same. He's got leverage. He's got leverage.
No, he has.
I think
I'm just concerned for him, man. No.
I just think
really
I'm maybe concerned. Look, if I'm honest, I'm maybe concerned for Cody like that because, bro, we're not that time period where a lot of wrestlers are their own brand. It doesn't make sense for WWE to bring Cody Rhodes from a big competitor or whatever. I get the whole cool. They want to try and embarrass him, but that's a myth.
They did it with They did it with a lot of WCW talent.
No, but that's different though. That's different.
Like
I feel like
that's a different time.
That's a different time.
Look at people like Shinsuke Nakamura that's coming from another company just as successful.
At his peak.
Like he was one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's coming and they've not utilized him. So the thing is, it's easy to say someone's.
But Shinsuke is very bro. I'm not to be decent, but you look at Shinsuke, he's very comfortable. Like,
I'm guessing that's a mix of both. But at the same time, it's easy to say someone's got a brand. They've come into the company. They've got leverage. But at the same time, you've only got as much leverage as the company allows you to have in the company. There's people that have come into the company. They've got their own brands. They've been doing stuff outside of WWE. When they now come in, they've been capped by how many percent? WWE even going to the point of like, you know what? We know you've got a podcast. We're going to sign your podcast so we can take creative control of the type of people you bring on your podcast, the type of things you speak on your podcast. To the point where once you get released, you can't even release podcasts anymore because that you also have a cooling period with that point. So it's just dependent. It's really dependent on wrestler as a whole, as opposed to like
and how
you're AEW wrestler. We're gonna treat you this way. Like we don't
and
know.
just how Vince sees
Yeah.
it.
Because even the rumors are that Vince is high on Cody and wants to push him to the moon.
He should be.
As you know what I mean.
But the thing is,
time will tell.
But the thing is, like I've said before, like of course, like the way I look at the way my perception of things is that it's like, yeah, it's a new toy. It's like, of course, you're gonna be. At the end of the day, Vince isn't stupid. He's a very as much as I slate him as a booker, as a businessman, Vince is one of the best.
He's got it to the team.
But the thing is, it's like cool. At the end of the day, whether WWE book Cody amazing or correctly isn't gonna change things that much. It's not gonna if WWE sit down here and wallow Cody, man, them are still tuning into the.
You know how
product.
WWE wallow Cody? If they put him up, if they put him in a feud with Roman Reigns straight away.
No, they won't do that.
That will finish it.
He's gonna.
They should put him straight.
will get
just put
there,
him
but
straight
that'll
on
be his
Raw.
peak.
Put him on Raw.
I even feel like he's.
What you gonna say?
I don't even feel like he's gonna gravitate to the WWE crowd like you lot think he's gonna gravitate.
He
to.
can't.
Bro, when he comes out, do you know the pop that he's gonna get?
No, but the thing is,
Temporarily.
Sam, this
Bro,
is
you have to remember, a lot of the audience is not new fans. It's
old
old
fans.
fans that have been watching since.
Those e-drones that are on Twitter,
That's
they're the fans.
They know, and the thing is,
The popular demo is not young kids.
and the thing is about Cody, what you got to realize, Cody isn't like, yes, he's built his name there. Cody is a WWE guy. He knows the system. This isn't some guy here, like Ricochet, who's come from a certain background, doesn't know how to cut promos.
Okay, we need to leave Ricochet alone. It's black.
Ricochet's
Ricochet's cold, so Ricochet's cold. Promo. I'm talking about.
Say Drew Gulak.
Cody is somebody, who's literally been in the system. His dad is Dusty Rhodes. He's fundamentally understood the WWE.
Legacy.
Brother was in the system for how long?
He's probably
Cody's a WWE guy.
Yeah, he fundamentally understands the system, and then now all he's done in the indies is round out his game. It's just round out his game. But Cody isn't like the fears of he's not gonna. Cody will be that guy as long as WWE push him. It's not this one ain't even the situation of he wasn't good. You can't use the excuse of he shouldn't have got him. It's Cody. He shouldn't have got himself over. He got himself over. These last 6 years, he's been getting himself over. And he's
your favorite champion as well, NWA. You remember that him and Nick Aldis?
Bruv, he brought prestige.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, he brought a lot of relevance
to that title, bro.
He brought a lot of relevance to Nick Aldis because I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of tired for him still, and I hope Nick Aldis doesn't beat Zack Ryder. Cody. It's tired for him. I like Nick Aldis, but it's kind of tired for him.
He needs to go for something else.
He needs to go somewhere else.
Like the story they told on the was it the 7th show, innit?
Yeah.
And then all in.
Bruv. At the end of the day,
that's where it started.
Cody is quote unquote what these
that's
guys
how I knew
like.
he was the champ.
Do you know, I understand why people will be scared because everyone knows what happens when Vince McMahon gets bored of his new toys.
Yes.
But have to have faith with this guy because former Ring of Honor champion, former NWA champion, he's a former IWGP US champion.
Bro, I can't lie. You seen the grand scheme of things? That doesn't
it don't matter. WWE. It don't matter.
Wait, but
this is why I'm just like.
Let me land because this doesn't just go to WWE. This goes to the fans as well. This guy sold out arenas. Fam, people know who this guy is. It's the same way with AJ Styles. When he came in, everyone was saying, people going to know who he is? Look at the pop. They knew.
It's a very
big...
You see AJ Styles. You see AJ Styles, yeah? AJ Styles is a one-in-a-lifetime superstar.
Yes.
That's the very big difference.
Yes. But Cody Rhodes was more famous than AJ Styles.
Cody Rhodes is more famous. Rhodes, bro, he's part of Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes was more famous than AJ Styles.
Yes, he is, bro. Superstar TNA. Come on, let's be real, man.
Cody Rhodes.
Let's not do legacy.
The son of Dusty Rhodes.
Let's not do legacy. Not even forget that. Let's not even
add it.
Let's not pretend like Cody Rhodes had a shit run. Let's be real, man.
And
Cody Rhodes had a shit run before.
And bro, in terms
AJ Styles,
bro,
I'm not comparing the runs. I'm saying in terms of famous, who's more famous?
Cody's more famous than
AJ Styles.
Think of it this way.
Look what Cody's doing now, bro.
Yeah, the surname. Okay, that's a wrestling name. Okay, no, I understand that.
You ask, let me tell you something. You become a house girl, bro. You ask any American right now who's Cody Rhodes, I'll tell you Cody Rhodes. Because, bro, Cody Rhodes has got his own TV show. I'm talking about he's got his own challenge show. He's got 2 shows.
He's got 2 shows.
Famous.
With bloody Snoop Dogg.
Bro, don't say mad. Bro, don't say mad. Hollywood are calling Cody Rhodes.
Cultural currencies are an important thing, you know.
Cody Rhodes.
Hollywood is calling Cody Rhodes.
AJ Styles, as much as we love him, wrestling fans love him, but let's be real, Cody Rhodes is for the streets. The streets love Cody Rhodes. When he walks into that ring, fam.
Holy smoking mirror. Bro, let me tell you something here.
Goosebumps.
WrestleMania comes out, yeah.
You know his AEW theme? They don't own it.
If he uses that theme,
let me use that theme, yeah.
Bro, I'm gonna listen. Let me be. I can't lie. If don't use that theme, bro, I can't lie.
There's more than one. Yo, listen. You know how? You see how? Hawks of Wrestling.
Yeah.
Book the ticket. Book it.
I'll be so real.
That WrestleMania.
I'll be so real.
I'm there. Boom.
I don't think Cody's gonna get the big pop like you lot think he is. I
Bro.
don't think so.
Bro, the prodigal son has returned to WWE. Are you crazy?
That's the real
prodigal son.
Not Drew McIntyre.
I don't
Cool.
think so.
Because the thing about Cody, is
When it comes to Brandy as well.
The thing is, I understand it.
I
understand it, but I don't.
Cody is everything that these guys talk about in terms of get yourself over red tape. Nobody can have chats for Cody. I'm so sorry. What Cody did in terms of leaving WWE,
defied the odds.
Bro, nobody can chat shit for him.
Nobody thought he would survive.
Nobody's done what Cody's done. Nobody can ever do what Cody's done, bro. Fam. Bro, let me explain what Cody done. Cody left WWE. He wrote a list on Twitter. Nobody done that before Cody. Cody wrote a list of all the wrestlers he wants to face. He went on PWG. He went to GFW. He came to the UK, done Rev Pro. He's done WCPW. He's done what? Bro, Cody. Fam, then he went to Ring of Honor. Then he fucking went to New Japan.
And then joined Bullet Club.
Bro, he became over every single day. Bro, man went to PWG. People are looking at this guy like, you know what?
He's a WWE.
He's a WWE guy. He can't do. Bro, the first match he had in the Best of LA, bro, the pop that he received it, they were like, you know what? There's something about this Cody guy. He's always been good, but this guy's special. But nobody thought that in the next few years that he's going to change the wrestling industry. Bro, what Cody has done is insurmountable.
Bro, what he did with All In,
I can't even describe it.
Bro, All In was the first show since WC fucking W to draw over 10K people in the building.
I've watched All In. No, I haven't. They have Rey Mysterio there, Okada, Kenny Omega,
self-funded, bro.
Cody Rhodes on there. Cody Rhodes himself is on there. Chris Bandido. Is it Bandido? Bro, the superstars that are on that show. Even what's even the back? So apparently Dave Moss said it was on the show. Dave Moss said it was going to.
Basically, this is what happened. So cool. Cody put out a tweet saying,
No, wasn't David saying? He responded saying, "Oh yeah, you can't."
No, I'm saying what the tweet he responded to. So I think Cody put out the tweet first, right?
What did Cody say?
Cody was like,
I think they were talking about it, and I think David said about it's good, but there's no chance you can sell it out. And then Cody said, "All right, bet."
Yeah,
and then
basically he was like, "Oh yeah, I can make a pay-per-view that can sell out over 10K people in the building." Dave's like, "That's not possible." Cody was like, "Bet, I'm gonna do it," and he did, and he fucking did it. Yeah. And then because of that, even TK says because of that, TK said, "I've always wanted to make a wrestling company." No, these man have the vision. Do you know what? I'm gonna talk to these man. I'll put the bread up. Cool. Let's put together fucking AEW. AEW doesn't exist without Cody. Without Cody and the Bucks.
That's facts. It does not exist without Cody
and the Bucks.
Bro, no, and the Bucks.
No, the Bucks.
Deep like this. You see a butterfly effect. When certain decisions are made in life, it affects one. If Cody did not leave WWE, wrestling will not be how it is right now.
No.
Cody's a genius. I'll be very real with you. Cody's up there with Vince McMahon. I'll be very real with you. He is.
He's a fucking genius.
Maybe Triple H.
Bro, I don't think Triple H is that much.
Triple H did this within the WWE system.
He's done this within the WWE system. He was just taking Ring of Honor, PWG. He evolved.
He used unlimited resources.
He took a lot of resources.
Cody had to leave.
Cody had to leave and build a third brand.
Because the
third brand, bro. Deep it. This is not Impact. This is not Ring of Honor. Like these are brands that have been happening for the past 20 years, but they've not been able to get the leverage like this.
Bro, and
AEW, bro, is here because of Cody. As much as we've got the Young Bucks, we've got Kenny, we've got TK, we've got the other wrestlers. Cody is the link because, bro, deep it. Like we said, Cody has come from WWE. He knows how the system works.
He's deep the system.
His dad was a booker. His dad was a booker for WCW. His dad done NXT. His dad done FCW. His dad knows. His dad is a pen. Do you know what I mean? So Cody knows the business in and out. He knows what works on TV. He knows what works in the Indies. He knows what works in Japan. He knows what works in Europe. Bro, Cody is bro, he's the glove. Like, fam, it's fucked.
But the thing about for Cody, because remember, for you have to put it in context as well. Cody left WWE as fucking Stardust, bruv. Let's be Stardust.
Even give it credit to Stardust is actually a good character.
No, but look, Stardust is way low to what Cody can really do.
In terms of the character, the way he
it's not even there with the Rose.
It's not. But I said the way he performed it.
No, but the reason why I'm saying no, the reason why I'm saying
Stardust was okay.
I don't like Stardust. I don't.
It was okay.
No, the thing is, no, but it's not my point.
Cody's so good at doing characters. That's why you're saying it's good. But that shows the quality of how good he is.
But my thing is, if you're telling me fucking Stardust is gonna revolutionize the wrestling business, you're having a bubble, mate. If you're telling me the nigga that's doing this, bleep that out because I used the N-word. But bleep it. No, N-word. Oh, anyway, sorry.
Wait. Are you okay, sir?
Look at this guy.
Sorry.
This guy's a Trump fan. I said, think about accident.
I'm trying to think of the body. I'm trying to think of the body, sorry. But
oh shit.
The guy that was doing fucking Stardust and doing this shit. If you think
fucking,
but the words in it. The what he's saying.
It's a fucking.
If Mr. DV flags up to us on the email, then we'll cut it off. But
cool.
He hasn't said anything. DV,
say no more.
good.
Say no more.
Apologies, DV.
Say no more.
Bro, DV, fam.
Anyway,
from Manscaped, fam. Mr. DV.
Oh, yeah, big up.
Yeah, Mr. DV.
Sorry, boss man. Sorry, Olga.
But yeah, the guy who's doing. If you told me that this guy was going to be the centerpiece of literally building one of the biggest wrestling promotions since WCW, excluding WWE, you would never think of it. This guy, because we can look at things now and be like, oh, okay, Cody's done it. What Cody has done, if you put 90% of these wrestlers, they're not doing what he did, bruv. They're not leaving WWE and going the route he took, bruv. Because you could say, oh, he rolled off the coattails of the Elite, did this, did that. Bro, to even have the understanding to know, cool, I'm not just going to go indies, I'm going to go these specific places because these places are the centerpiece of what wrestling is today. And then use those fans that you've cultivated from building the indies and take them to a national. Come on, man. Cody's different. He's different, bruv. You can't be compared to nobody.
And bro, the pop, I'm confirming it for you, Blacks. I'm confirming for you right now, yeah? WrestleMania happens. Stone Cold comes out, does his whole thing. Hall of Fame drops. A match comes after. And after that match, something that relates to Cody Rhodes, say for example, Randy Orton's coming out. And after Cody Rhodes steps out, not even better, Raw after WrestleMania.
Ooh, that's gonna be hot.
As soon as the title credits come off the screen, you hear, oh, fam. You see Mexican wave, everyone be doing this. Bro, I swear to you. Well, do you know? I'm done. You see the now, what's it? Before, now, forever. There'll be a new video that'll be inserted to that sequence. And it'll be Cody Rhodes coming out. I swear to you.
You have to also remember,
It'll be now, then, and it will just.
Cody Rhodes will be in that sequence. Do you know what I'm saying?
The thing is, the Cody Rhodes.
You have to also remember as well, yeah. Like, let's not be naive in it. WWE fans are not just WWE fans; they're wrestling fans. A lot of these WWE fans go to AEW as well. Like, there's people that follow both products. Yeah, of course. Majority of the people there.
Green Man goes there as well. Green Man with the smiley face. He goes there.
Fam, a lot of these people are gonna pop for Cody. Do you know what I mean?
And Brock Lesnar.
Like, I know both fans are stupid and dickheads in it, but not everybody is a deviant like the rest of them.
I'm just saying, I don't like as much as I'm happy that I know Cody believes in stuff, and I believe in.
And he should, because what he's done.
No, I believe in Cody. I just don't believe in the system he's going in.
That's why I said. That's why I said earlier.
Cody, not the system.
That's why I asked you. I said earlier when I said I'm worried. I'm worried for Cody, not because of his ability.
It's the system.
Yeah, exactly. Because Cody has shown. Cody has shown for years. Cody's own track record is spotless. He can go somewhere and make it pop for himself. The thing is, if it's a system where if he has to play by someone else's rules, that's what I'm worried about.
You know,
that's what I understand. Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I understand everyone's concern, but I want to know what his intention is. I want to know if he goes to WWE, what does he intend to do in WWE?
Yeah,
visibility.
I mean, can I give you something in a nutshell? Can I give you something in a nutshell? Yeah. Prime example. I don't know. Maybe me. I'm a different. Maybe because I've got kids now and I see stuff differently, bro. You have no, this is gonna sound mad, but you have a time scale on your career path that you're doing. For example, footballers can't go over 50? They have to retire, right?
No, until about
who's the longest? Who's
39,
I mean, as in top flight. How was Buffon? Buffon's like heading towards 50, right?
30, 40s, man.
Buffon's not 40. He's going. Okay, whatever.
Facts and
energy. But he's heading towards. He's going towards it, right? Do you guys get what I mean? Okay, basketball player. Give me when did MJ retire?
Buffon's 44.
You got what I mean? 44. So he's going towards 50, right?
So you're saying there's a career span?
What I'm trying to say, there's a career span. What from what I'm seeing is this, yeah, bro. Utilize the time you've got right now. If they're giving you peas, I'm sorry, go for it.
He's gonna make different bread.
Go for the bread. I'm sorry, man. This gonna sound like I'm. This is gonna sound like I'm being very. What's the word I'm looking for? Is obnoxious the word or? Very like money hungry.
Say your point and we'll have the
money. This may come across like I'm very money hungry, but bro, I hear it. If Cody wants to go for peas and they're paying him, was it $1 million or something like that?
It's gonna be. He's earning. According to reports, he's earning like $2 million on AEW.
They're gonna double that.
No, he's probably gonna earn like 5.
They're gonna double that. I'm going.
He's got a family and he's married and he's got a mansion.
What, $5 million a year in WWE?
Kevin Owens is earning about 3.
Kevin Owens is earning 3.
Kevin Owens is earning 3. Wait, Kevin. So who's the bigger? Be honest, in the wrestling market, who's the bigger asset? Kevin Owens or
you cannot tell me Kevin Owens is the bigger asset.
Okay. So if Cody, wait.
So if Owens earning 3 a year.
Yeah. New contract.
Yeah. So
that's why he stayed.
That's why he stayed.
That's the thing. You see with this kind of stuff here, there's two arguments to it. We're thinking more of like a creative passion type of thing.
Yes.
But then at the same time, there's another argument of like, you know what? Especially when it comes to like
the
stuff
money's
like releases and stuff, why people are staying in certain companies. If the money is good, why wouldn't they stay? Look at the Good Brothers. They stayed in WWE for how many years just to be doing rubbish?
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't say earn more bread. But us who are wrestling fans that know them from Japan, you're thinking, why the fuck are you staying in this company? Because you could be doing way more. Do you know what I mean? So there's two sides to the coin, innit? So
it's like money versus ability.
It's money versus passion. That's why people are happy to leave because they don't mind not taking the extra million because they want to be able to do what they want. But on the other side, there's people that, you know what? I'm comfortable here. I'm making certain change.
Kevin.
I don't have to wrestle every week. I'm like Dolph Ziggler. Do you know what I mean?
Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro.
Dolph Ziggler.
They're pushing man
Cesaro
now,
and NXT.
No, but look at Dolph
Ziggler. The feud is good though.
Yeah, no, it's good.
But he's still gonna be making his bread. That's the thing. He's still gonna be making his bread, and he doesn't mind.
But from day, he's decided I want to be comfortable when I've done money.
Man wants to do his comedy and say, you know what? I'm comfortable making my millions. Let me take a bump here. Let me beat some porn stars. Let me just enjoy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, didn't he beat some?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but Ziggler family's a part of him. HMA still.
It's not bad place. It's not bad place to go and tell someone what to do with their career. I can have my opinion about like, as a fan from a creative perspective. But listen, if the money's money in, my G,
go there.
Go.
Apparently he bought a new mansion or something.
Yeah, he did. He bought a mansion, and he's got a child.
He's got a child as well.
I don't know.
So from a family perspective, it's stability. Stability. It makes sense what Cody's doing.
That's why I said, maybe because I'm a dad now, I'm seeing it, bro.
Yeah.
Today, not to be deep here, man. If something came through today and it said promote a brand that doesn't actually align with us, but all of us are eating mad bread.
Black History Month.
I'm sorry to say. I'm gonna say, bro, man, we have to take this.
I feel you.
I'm trying to get out the hood. I'm trying to get out the hood.
I'm sorry.
trying to get out the hood.
If it makes sense, but
if we got emails saying, you man, you have to promote those Rose toys. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
What's
that?
Don't worry. I'm trying to get out the hood. If I'm trying to take a bump,
let me say something here, fam. I will say yes. All of us are wearing chinchilla next season. I swear. Next year we're chinchilla. But then
there's other people. It just depends on what people prioritize more in it. Is it the money or is it the? And not to make it like a bad thing, but some people are so passion driven that they're willing to say, fuck the money. I'm gonna do this, and even like, you know what I'm saying. Like, obviously, it's not the greatest example because he's caked up in it. Daniels, he's got
Danielson and Moxley, they're caked.
They're caked in it, but like according to the reports, like AEW were offering but offering more money than AEW was. But because he wanted to do New Japan and wanted to wrestle,
the WWE offered him New Japan as well.
They were not gonna happen.
It would have got
that New Japan thing was through gays from the anyways, but. Yeah, he said, you know what? And I even said like, I left a comfy position because I want to kick people's fucking heads in. So some people are just different, and whatever you want to do it.
But like
just
I said,
maximize your thing.
And like I said a couple months ago, like if you have to go for bread, go for bread. Because I'm not gonna lie, 5-star from David Meltzer is not gonna pay your bills.
It's not.
I do hear that.
It's
not.
not.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm sorry. Hey, listen.
I can't lie.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's good.
I hear it.
I'm not gonna lie. Man, them should be searching for wrestling.
I can't hug you from there, but bro, honestly, I've been saying it, bro. Bro, look, money.
It hurts. I don't want to do it.
No, don't get me wrong.
I hear it.
Listen, Dave Meltzer's nothing to me. But it's a good indication, like NK always says, it's a good indication to see what's good and what's not good.
Everybody's got a price.
But at the same time, if man are leaving WWE, if man are leaving a couple bags, a couple mil, just to go to Nigeria Bingo Hall to go and face Fela Kuti. Power Uti. So now get 5-star. But then next thing you know, you're still eating Amala and Abula.
Can't lie, but this is the thing, yeah. The thing is, if I was a wrestler, I'm not a wrestler. Dude, if I was a wrestler, what I'd do, I can't lie. Because of this type of stuff I like to consume, I'll probably do the indie stuff, but I'm retiring.
In the E.
I'm retiring.
In the E.
I'm doing that.
In the E.
Depends. Which one gives you more money?
The E. Of course. The E. Don't be
you're the E. No. It depends. Exactly.
Because it could be a thing where WWE is probably going to offer you bread, but they're now saying you have to go to NXT 2.0.
Exactly.
But then AEW are probably saying, you know what? We've got a slot for you.
It's
here.
a conversation. It's not. It's a conversation.
It's micro. It's not macro.
But my thing is, and my thing is that cool. Again, if I
I'm
trying to get out the hood.
Look, if I was a wrestler,
if they give it to if the Rose Company hits us up, like, man, I'm not gonna lie,
a mil. Do it!
A milli!
Fam, man, that's what I'm saying.
I'm pissed in my ear.
Fam. That's what I said, yeah. Madam, I said from the beginning. I said, look, madam.
Oh, yeah, Taffy Bobski. Bobby Lick is right. Bobby Lick is.
Joyce. I looked at Sam's face. I said, Sam, bro, money talks, bro. Money really talks. Is that £10 note? The £10 note was like, yo, spend me. Spend me.
See if we get the Rose toy, you see how maybe say, don't make me get a Mon Clizzy. I'll see that like,
money talks, man.
Money talks.
I'm trying to get the hood, man.
I'm trying to get the umbrella for Faith House.
I'm trying to hear birds in the morning, man. No sirens anymore. I'm trying to hear birds in the morning, man.
Birds on the
climbing them ladders.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hear birds in the morning, man. Honestly,
Box will point it here. The Lux edition.
That's what I'm trying to hear, man.
Even if you wrestlers come and sign it, fam.
High speed, different settings.
Yeah, man.
If you were on the show, though, who would you want to face?
I mean, the obvious ones are like the clear obvious ones. I think is Punk and Danielson are my obvious ones. But like, I'd like a challenge, and what I mean that is, I would like a homemade guy, like someone that didn't come from NXT, that didn't come from New Japan, someone that was like a home. Because I think that's the challenge: is can I do like a sick match with someone that was just born and made in AEW. I think that's something I'd like to challenge that more. But
who would that be?
One of the pillars, maybe like
Darby
Allin.
But Darby Allin came.
Jungle Boy. I'd love to tear out with him.
He means in terms of like AEW's like that's what's made.
Like for example, if you got like, I mean, the obvious ones are kind of like obviously he's probably wanting Kenny Omega and like he's got the show.
Bro, that's gas.
But, like,
Kenny Omega is gas.
We're just not on good terms right now. I just want to leave. Like, it's just when you leave the building and when you leave New Japan and you say like, hey, you pull me to one side and you say, hey man, you need to step up for this company. I believe in you. All this and gas you up. And look at you moving the mic and goes to get the gossip. and they gas you up hard, and you put your heart and fucking soul into trying to make this, and like because the bar was high. Like for like both myself and Jay, the bar was high. And once again, I actually care about I want the fans to watch New Japan wrestling and be like, this is fucking professional wrestling. And now I'm fucking doing it and destroying my fucking body to do it. And then you cunt me off online. Like, what type of a cunt is that? Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like I look at you and I actually hold you in fucking high regards. Like actual like high regards, and I respect everything that you've done. I like, even when you've done that fucking barbed wire exploding match, it went to fucking shit. right? I actually was the type of guy that went, oh man, I hope they're fucking all right. Like, because the bombardment of tweets that you get, I was probably the only guy that fucking did that. And instead, the way that you retaliate is by burying me to your fucking shitty little fans. It's just like, I'm literally doing my fucking best. So like on that, like it's just kind of that's kind of why like me and Kenny just don't get along. It's just one of those things where just like I'm sure he's got something else to say and whatever, but it's just one of those things where just like I prefer him to just stay away from me. So at this point, because just like it's not even like funny to me. It's just like you honestly can destroy guys like that. It's just like you was literally the guy saying this and now you're saying that. You're like, I don't like two-faced people. Like, be real. Just be real, and that's the way I ask for. But like AEW wise, like I mean, once again, I love the product. I think it's brilliant, and it makes me excited to be a wrestling fan. So the real challenge for me is just like there's obviously guys on there now like Keith Lee. There's
you've got unfinished business with Wonder,
Mox, yeah, but like that would be a hell of a thing. But just like I still think like this show should be just like let's just go balls to the fucking wall.
Yeah.
What are the fucking dream matches? What like I'm sure like Okada and Punk, Tanahashi and like
I want to see Shingo Hangman.
Huh?
I want to see Shingo Hangman.
Shingo Hangman, that'd be a good one. Like I'd like to see Kenny Shingo. I think that'd be a fucking banger.
Yeah,
that'd be a banger. But like
you and Dante.
Dante's a good one. Lovely boy as well. Lovely young man. But I would just really like somebody who was grassroots. Yeah. Because I think that's the mark. Because you've got all these star guys. You've got all these guys, like, and they're the dream ones. They instantly think in their head, top 5, Punk, Danielson, all these guys, whatever. But like the guys that were there from the start, I like one of them because I believe I can have the best match with one of them because they're hungry and they're going, we should be in those spots.
So you say you want to do that for someone else? Who is that person for you?
I don't like the thing is I don't know. Like I'd love Jungle Boy because I think.
I mean, in the past, so you said so you're saying like right now you'd love to like take a young person.
So put me in that position.
Yeah. So when you were the young kid, who was that person in New Japan that took you?
AJ Styles. AJ Styles. I honestly love this. I remember like honestly to this effing day, like I remember it was like 2014. I think I was just about to wrestle Matt Sydal, and Andy Quilden pulls me on one side, and I've got nothing but love for Quilden. That man is just an absolute G. Love him. Gets on my tits sometimes, but I still love him. Right? And I'm sure I get on his tits. And he pulls me to one side, and he says, February actually, you, AJ Styles. I cried, dude. That's the sole reason I became a wrestler. Like, a lot of people will be like Stone Cold, Rock, Michaels, and I understand that. But like, for me, when WCW and ECW got bought by WWF, and Vince McMahon cuts the famous line, just like I bought my competition, there wasn't any excitement for me anymore. And then as a kid, flicking through this channel, and seeing this mad fucking 6-sided ring, you're like, what the fuck is this? So you stick around, you watch it for a little bit, and you won't believe this is the first match I'd ever see this, but like, the first ever match of TNA was Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels.
The triple threat.
That's why.
Like,
that's of course you're gonna stay.
That's one of the greatest matches of all time.
That music fucking like that music hits that like you are you like, and he's got that fucking red hood on. You're like, what the fuck is this guy? He's like fucking red little hood and these red little biker shorts, like jacked to the eyeballs, and just like, all right, let's see what this guy goes. And honestly, this is the moment I can just see it in my fucking 14-year-old brain or 13-year-old. He grabs the top rope, Daniels and fucking Joe on the outside, jumps to the top rope, shooting star. And I'd literally that moment, man, like it was either one or two choices. I fucking do my homework or I like stay watching. I'm gonna be a pro wrestler. And like the moment Andy told me that, the greatest fucking like night of my career at that point, because I got in the ring with someone that I hold so high on my pedestal, and the fact that when I met him, he knew everything about me. And the thing that makes it so cool for me now is I got my job from New Japan through Okada, through Tana watching me, but the main guy, AJ Styles.
Big up AJ Styles. It's the fucking greatest, man.
That's crazy.
Has there been any? Just asking. Has there been any interest in like WWE ever?
Like,
As in,
of
have they-
course they have. Like, I mean,
Them hitting you, them messaging.
Yeah, they've messaged like loads of times. It's just trying to put this in the right way without sounding like a cunt. It's just one of those things where, like, when it all got counted, because New Japan put it in first, and I always just wanted Japan. Like, although not like New Japan at first, I wanted to go Dragon Gate because I just had those like Ricochet was there, like, and I looked at like Ricochet's like my big brother in a weird way. I just kind of like I wanted to follow him and I wanted to do all of that, and that was kind of the style that I really enjoyed doing. So I wanted to go there, but then this opportunity came up, and it was like almost like a tryout, like, because I was just really blessed. Like, you just got to imagine it in October that like Rev Pro did the crossover show, and I had Gator ringside watching me. I was in the ring with Okada. The Office was backstage, and Tunnel was peeking through the curtain. It was like, that's literally the 4 guys that you want. So like, if I shit the bed here, I'm done. I'm over. This ain't happening. Instead, like, I nailed it. And then after that, Impact wanted me, and at the time I really wasn't a fan of Impact, and I like actually putting positives on shit now, because I did a tweet.
I said a tweet. Yeah. You wrestled at Impact as well.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, done the King of the Mountain. I wrestled with Mark Andrews against the American Wolves. I think it's got to be said, and we should all be positive about wrestling when stuff like this should be said. Because at one point we all thought, I can honestly say this, I think everybody thought TNA's going to go under. They're going to get bankrupt. Yeah. They're going to be done. They have weathered this storm so good, and that speaks volumes to the talent, the Office backstage, and everything in between. The fans, just like, it's such a good product now, and I think it deserves its praise. But like at the time, yeah, Impact I didn't really want, so it's a toss up between WWE and New Japan. And at the time, obviously NXT was a thing. Prince Devitt just went through there. Kenta was.
Joe was there. I think as well.
Sami Zayn.
So everyone that went there had done at least something in Japan. Like Puck especially, like everyone did something in Japan, whether it's one tour or whatever. So in my mind, I politely said that I would prefer. They wanted me for the Cruiserweight Classic, and then when they find out I was going into Chaos.
So was that the same Cruiserweight Classic that Zack and Ibushi did?
Yeah. So they wanted me in that. They wanted me in that, but like I didn't like not turn them down, but I just stopped kind of talking to them, just like not really answering the calls and stuff like that. And then
ghosted them basically.
Yeah. But it was just a point where I just like, I finally answered the phone and I just said that I just really want to do Japan, and then they offered me a deal. And then obviously for me at the time, like if I'm getting a deal, like fucking hell, like this is it. Like, because I didn't know I was like New Japan did contracts, so I was just, oh wow, this is like sustainability, this is like employment, and this is WWE. And then when you ask your mum, like if you go on to now and you go up to your mums and you go, Mum, WWE or New Japan? 9 times out of 10 they'll say exactly what my mum said. I don't know what a New Japan is, but like I know WWE. But like in my heart, it's just like I knew that's where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a no from there. They asked me back again in 2018, and then because I think that's when they were starting the UK thing. They wanted me for that, weren't available, and then they wanted me for 2018.
My face said it.
Like bullet dodged. Like
yes.
But like just I've never really. And it speaks. It's not just the product. It is just like I love my home life, and like I've always been here. Like I don't plan on moving. Like I even think like if American fans watch this, I feel like they notice it. I'm hardly in the country. I go for a weekend, and then the first fucking flight I get home, and it's because I just enjoy being around my family and friends. And it's nothing to do with like the American scene or anything along those lines. I just like my family life, and the idea that New Japan goes, we're going to give you this money every month. And you can go home and spend time with your family. You could see like your little nephews and nieces grow up and shit like that. And that's like, you can't put a price on that. And although like there will always be like that doubt in my mind of being like, but what if you did go? I'm not like that. Once again, I never wanted to be the big star wrestler. I'm just a bloke that was doing like mastic work and electrician work badly. And I was able to get into wrestling. And because of that, like I thrived, and I can't speak enough of like I'm thankful for the people that have got me there, and I'm thankful for the offers from WWE, because that obviously clearly says they value my work, but in the same sense, I'm just like, this is what I want. I want my family life, and like I won't sacrifice that for millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Or maybe millions, but but no, I love my family life, and you can't put a price on it, unfortunately.
Like, you've been able to achieve a lot at such a young age, but my question to you is that what keeps you, because you, like you said, you've won the IWGP Heavyweight title, you've made an event in Tokyo Dome, like you're the face of essentially British wrestling, you're one of the best wrestlers in the world. Like, what keeps you going? What keeps you, like, because a lot of people in your position can get complacent, can be like, okay, I've achieved more than people in their 40s, like I'm done. So what keeps you going? What keeps you saying, no, I need to? Because right now what you're doing, for example, the feud you're having with Moxley is incredible, and then the stuff you're even doing the US title with Tana, it's incredible. Like, what keeps you going? What keeps you thinking, I need to still maintain my status as the best?
If you can't be relevant in the same company that you've been in years, then you're not that good. And I say that because you stay in that company and you're too afraid to reinvent yourself and to try and push different boundaries and do different things. So instead you just go, well, I'm just going to take my act to somewhere else. And sometimes that doesn't work out. And I feel like we can all say, like, that act sometimes doesn't work. And like one of these days, maybe I will be done with New Japan. I don't know. But like right now, it's just like, what pushes me more than anything is I loved that Tokyo Dome main event. It felt like I belonged there. I felt like I earned that spot. But in the same sense, that was not the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah. Yeah, silence.
That's factual.
That's fact.
And like
the atmosphere.
I hate saying this, and like I hate saying it out loud because it makes me feel ungrateful. But like, and I need to stress this enough. I'm so grateful that I was in the main event of the Tokyo Dome. I really am. But I remember somebody, I think it was Aaron backstage, he went, how'd you feel? And just before I went out, I went, nothing. And there's part of me that's because I was in the fucking zone and I was like, I know I belong here. But the other part of me was just like, it's not the full experience. And trust me, when I was out there and I was like hitting fucking Okada with the Rainmaker and I could hear him, like, oh, and I was like, fuck, there they are. And I was like fucking shark smelling blood, like fucking pouncing on that shit.
And especially because it's like you've seen, like you were there at Wrestle Kingdom 14 when it was like full capacity, and you've been there, and just to see the contrast.
I saw Kenny versus Okada.
Yeah,
mate, that was like watching that with my own eyes. It's like I discovered fire. I even remember at one point, like when Kenny kicked out the Rainmaker, there was a beer cup next to me. I was so excited that he kicked out. I just booted the fucking beer thing. Like just some poor Japanese person went, "Fucking hell, what was that?" Like just like that's the level of excitement. And I was just like, I only got like at best 10% of that. 10 fucking %. I deserve the 90.
Yes.
I deserve the rest of that fucking percentage because like I fucking grafted. I've changed my body. I put in the work. Look at the time I won that IWGP Junior title. I fucking ate that motherfucker. I ate him. I am now a completely different man. I know I operate different to any other pro wrestler. In AEW, in Ring of Honor, in New Japan, in All Japan, in Noah, in WWE, I operate fucking differently. I know I can get back there, and I know I can do it with the fucking full capacity. Fucking everyone's allowed to make noise. 40,000, 50,000, however many thousand people in there. I just need to fucking hear it, and I know I'm going to get back there because I'm that fucking good.
Yes. G1's coming up soon. The G1's coming soon.
Is it the same buzz or is it different buzz?
Who was there? Oh, man. Who was there? There was one of the team was there at the show at Southampton.
Probably Lincoln.
Oh, Lincoln.
Yes, Lincoln was there at the show.
Oh, wait. I need to get on top of this, bro. I need to get on top of this.
Yes. Yo. I don't think was it the Southampton show? It was the Southampton show.
It was only Purpose Wrestling. Purpose Wrestling.
Was it Purpose when he saw you on the train?
Yeah. So Lincoln saw you on the train after he was recording you. I think it's keeping kayfabe.
It was you and Conor Mills who guys were like, don't film me.
I can get see that, please.
I was in it for Do you know what's so funny?
You know what's mad, yeah?
I'd never met him before, right?
Oh.
And then you filmed that, right?
Yeah.
But I did it just for bants. I just did it to be
Oh,
funny.
for bants?
Yeah. But then after I left, I spoke to him a bit more. I was like, oh no, I don't think he clocked.
Because you know what's funny, yeah? He goes, hey yo, I just saw Adrian on the train. I was like, oh, I swear. So telling me, well, go on in it. So then he's like, oh, I took a video of him. I sent it to a group chat, yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm just saying, oh, Jeremy, like, yo, chill.
I need to, that video needs to be
that video, bro. When you put in
Michael West, Kanye West,
put in the B-roll of this.
You see when you put in the group chat. I think I might have it. Everybody, I think everyone laughed.
Because it was like,
Have you got it?
I should. Let me. Off camera.
He'll work if that was kayfabe. Well done, because
yeah.
Because I can't lie.
That should have went live.
I was fooled. I was like, oh.
I was like, wait.
Michael went Hollywood.
Well, just man, you see Conor Mills in the background like this. His face changed and he's like.
Now, part of me was thinking, fam, I'm not gonna. If that was me, I would not put that in the group chat.
Yeah.
You know when someone says don't film yet, you will stop filming with the phone in your hand.
No, but what's funny is that you see Michael's just like he put his hand like he stretched forward. Man was praying on the phone in the nimble. Jesus. Yeah, it was so cool.
Oh man, I feel bad.
No. We spoke to him. I think we had a chat after. Was like maybe he's keeping kayfabe for the show. And he goes, oh yeah, it's true. He's like, you know.
See, you had to take. No,
but it was funny, innit? You know what I mean?
You had to walk him off the plane.
It was funny, fam. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it, fam.
So how are you feeling going into this match?
But I'm ready. Like I'm nervous. So there's loads of build to it that's been happening for the match, which has been also a cool thing because that's rarely happened on indie wrestling. That rarely happens where there's I don't want to say a WWE style build, but where there's all these elements going in, stuff that you'd see on TV. He's done the thing where he said he bought tickets for my mum and my brother, front row tickets to watch the match. Will Ospreay said that. So there's that element coming in where my mum's gonna be there front row watching the match. And she's Nigerian.
But you want to get rushed or something, cuz?
That's what I'm saying.
He wants to get rushed.
That's what I'm saying. So there's all these elements that have been added in, and then it's just to be the one that's wrestling Will after he just wrestled at the Tokyo Dome the same month. So he main event at the Tokyo Dome. Who's gonna be wrestling him? Me, of all people. That's already an honor in my head. I must make sure that I don't forget that. So I'm just gonna be buzzing. I'm ready.
Come on, bro.
Come on.
Ready to take the title.
You sold that very well. I got my attention still. I got my attention still.
That's it.
Can you cast a promo? I want you to be Will Ospreay is literally. Oh boy, I want you to. Oh yeah, give me.
I'm from Essex, so bro, chat to me innit.
Let me tell you something, brother. On the 29th of January. I'll play.
Basically, what he's saying is he wants you to send for Will Ospreay, innit?
Send for Will. I've been sending for him in his face. I've sent for him when he's not around. I've said all these same things. He said, "Oh, I'm the greatest wrestler of the 21st century. I'm going to the Tokyo Dome. I'm going to the Tokyo Dome. My event, Tokyo Dome." And I was rooting for him. And he lost.
I say, why load?
He lost to Okada. So now I'm going to feel bad when I have to take his British Heavyweight Championship from him because then he's going to have nothing left. It's going to be like Ian Beale. Nothing left. That's what I'm going to leave him to be.
And leave EastEnders, you know that?
That's it. Leave him get killed off at EastEnders, man.
Yeah.
So that's it. This is the big match. This is the match that there's no other show in town to watch. There's no other wrestling show in town this month. In the next few weeks. I don't care where you want to look. That's going to be bigger than this show. The card is stacked. But the main event, this is as big as it gets to me. And so I'm making sure that I'm doing, not just myself proud, but I feel like I'm representing a lot of people. A lot of people.
Penfold, big up every single time, bro. Balor has been buried. Where should you go next?
Go find that nigga, pick him back up. He's not buried. Go find him. Go find him. Dig him up. He's not buried, bro. Come with me to relax. I'm so painful, you're my guy, but
you read that like African uncle?
No, but bro, he's not buried. He's
been buried.
Austin Fury just beat him. What the hell?
Do you know what it is? Every time he's a fan favorite to the internet community, innit? So anytime their favorite loses, they're like, "Yeah, he's been buried. He's been buried."
A whole buried, you know.
He's not buried, bro.
Yeah, he just lost the title.
Yeah,
the title that wasn't even defended at WrestleMania. Now people care. True. Oh, blood of Jesus!
On a 2-night WrestleMania.
A 2-night. 2 nights. Go and find him, dig him up. Dig that boy up and put him, dig him up.
Balor has been buried.
What was you saying? AEW?
AEW this week, man. Bro, blood in 7 seconds, bro, into a match.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was nice. It made sense. It made sense, but I was like, bro, Mando, this is now becoming a blood sacrifice, bro.
No,
Do you get what I mean?
Man, about pouring it bare, fam. It's
You know the thing is, I get the realism of having blood, yeah, because if I'm having a fight with someone, I might punch them the wrong way.
But this is wrestling, though. I'm sorry, it's gonna sound so rude. Okay, if I'm watching UFC, I expect blood. Boxing, I expect blood. Who else is there? Bare knuckle, I expect blood. But Mandem, this is wrestling.
But like we said, on this occasion, there was thumbtacks.
It made sense. That made sense.
Yeah.
But hear me out. When people are saying that blood is needed in wrestling, I 100% agree with that. But weekly, no. If man's getting his face punched in, and we are seeing that on camera.
Okay,
like, bam,
make it more realistic to the sense.
Thank you.
It can build.
Yeah.
It can build from punching someone in the face.
Brock doing that thing to
Orton.
Orton, that makes sense because bro, you're banging man on the head, fam.
I personally feel like certain matches, like okay, like I get it, like it's wrestling, whatever, but certain matches should not have blood in it. Like for example, John Moxley, we get it. Within as soon as he's doing entrance, a vessel has popped in his hand, he's bleeding, but at the same time, yeah, like with certain times where he's bled and didn't like it, it made sense. But you should, I personally feel like with certain scenarios, you should only be bleeding when you're in a feud, like a blood feud.
Yeah.
If you're now wrestling someone like Mance Warner, just because he's in GCW, you should not be bleeding.
Unless it's an extreme match.
Unless it's an extreme match, but other than that, I don't even think you should be having extreme matches with people that you're not in a feud with. On free TV, it doesn't make sense.
It depends though. It depends.
For me, it doesn't.
For example, if it's a specialist wrestler, when Nick Gage came, it made sense to me.
I mean, but that was part of a feud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's like John Moxley and we've got an open challenge with Joey Janela coming in from GCW, I'm sure I don't want to see. I don't want to see none of these niggas bleed. I don't even want to see Joey Janela.
The one that rattled me the most was when Takeshita bled against John Moxley. That one didn't make sense.
Stuff like that, I don't think they should be bleeding.
That one was like, wow, the guy just came to wrestle, fam. Do you get what I mean?
Man gave an excursion and
the man just came to wrestle, bro. Man's left with scars, bro.
Whether he decides to bleed or not, it's not a problem. If you're in a feud, I expect you to bleed at some point.
Yeah.
But if you're just coming randomly, you're in an eliminator match. If you beat John Moxley, you're gonna fight him for a title match, and you're bleeding.
If you bleed today, what are you going to do tomorrow?
So what it should have been is that we know how Takeshita fights. We know Takeshita's style. Why doesn't he use that as a one-up on John Moxley? Why doesn't it be a test of wrestling styles rather than be a test of who can bleed first? Do you get what I mean?
The match was that.
The match slapped, but it didn't need. Do you get what I mean?
But the thing is, to me, I guess my perspective is.
But we talk about blood every week, you know.
No. Let's get into this, man. Let's nip it in the bud today.
I'll say this.
People think we hate AEW.
Ava, big up Ava last week. Ava White. Yeah, she said something that has made me think all week, and it's if someone bleeds, does that actually make you think less of them, like they're weak?
No.
And I know we answered it. We answered it yesterday, but it left a mark on me the whole week. I was just thinking, if someone keeps bleeding, if someone keeps bleeding, are they a bit of a?
They're very vulnerable.
Yeah,
again, I don't like even bringing this guy back up again. John Moxley, fair enough, you're bleeding every single week, but for me, I look at it as like, fam, you have an issue. Because I don't like, bro, for you to be bleeding every single week, surely you're losing blood. So it's not like back in the day, like ECW. You'll see certain man bleed and they're scared of the fact that they're bleeding.
They're not selling it.
When he was facing Nick Gage, when he was bleeding, bro, you can see that the fear. But then there's certain wrestlers when you do see them bleed. So for example, I don't even want to bring this up. What's this guy? How can I forget his name?
Where was he?
What match?
New Japan. He headbutted Okada.
Shibata.
When he bled,
that's fucked.
After the headbutt.
And
in my head, I was scared. I was scared for him, but I looked at him like, this guy's fucking crazy.
He's crazy, yeah.
I'm scared for Okada.
It's like
I said, there has to be two sides of blood. It's not every week you're bleeding. At some point, I'm look at you like, bro, you're bleeding so much. I should be more concerned than look at you like a valiant hero.
Or at least make that...
Man like Raven will bleed in ECW. And it'll be like, fuck, this guy's hardcore. Tommy Dreamer will bleed and I'll be like, fam, I'm scared for him. So there should be two sides.
And maybe even like the commentary should sell something like that, like he's lost a lot of blood in the last month or something like that.
Finally loses. Do you know what I mean?
In his Eddie Guerrero bled. Granted, it was real blood, but at the same time, it was like, fam, I'm scared for this guy. But we shouldn't be like. A wrestler bleeding shouldn't now be made to be heroics. Like,
it's not.
That's what I'm saying. Oh my god, it's not like Death Jam Vendetta.
I feel like some wrestlers, it should be like I said, I feel like some wrestlers should be scared, but there's some wrestlers is their Super Saiyan mode.
I think in AEW, every wrestler has been Super Saiyan. From the women. From Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, what's her name? Penelope Pope. Penelope Pope.
The bunny.
The bunny. They've all bled, and it's like, oh shit. This person, it's like they're
no one's fearing that they're.
It's like they're on Viagra or something. Like they're just rising. Bro, from my recollection, I can't remember any wrestler that's bled in AEW.
Final blood.
And they've looked at that person like, oh shit, this is concerning.
I think the whole.
Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, please correct me. As far as I remember, I don't remember.
I think you're correct. I think the whole blood aspect should also be maybe in the type of match which you're in as well. Like if you're in Hell in a Cell, it's inevitable you're going to fucking bleed. Because you're in a brutality mode. Like I said, like Foley, HH back in the day, you see them in Hell in a Cell, they're both gonna bleed. Someone's gonna bleed. They're both psycho. They're both mentally crazy. Do you know what I mean?
Technically, even Hell in a Cell, sometimes you don't even need blood. It just needs you going through the cage.
No,
you know what I mean?
Hell in a Cell, they don't even use the cage.
No, don't do that because it's just stupid error. It's the reason why they're not meant to fucking bleed in Hell in a Cell.
I agree with Blacks. I agree with Blacks. I need to see. Bro, look at and remember.
Hell in a Cell was the final level.
Exactly.
Bro, this whole fight, it was crimson. Every Hell in a Cell vignette, it
was disgusting.
Bro, you'll see the shot of them.
And it's the thing.
You see the lights.
It was scary.
You'll now see the head of the cage. You'll now see the head of the cage. You'll now see the blood of the mat.
When man was shake the cage, like
you're not real. Do not try this at home.
Do you know what Blacks is right? Because because you know Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell was, I remember before it was a feud ender. It was like, bruv. No, we're gonna do this Hell in a Cell. We're gonna do it now because
it's the final.
It's called Hell.
Yeah,
it's called Hell, bruv.
We're racing for this on Saturday.
Jeez,
it's been a journey. As I was saying earlier on, before we started rolling, I thought, you know what, I'm done with wrestling. But like, I went to do a commentary event in Bradford, and I reignited that spark. In regards to like the whole aspect of why I came back, it's basically because of my son. My son was playing with like CM Punk figures, watching Dynamite, had the figure in his hand of CM Punk, and I thought, I've got some unfinished business here. I need to show my son that, you know, because at the time I was only like 3-4 matches in, and show my son, look, your dad's a wrestler. And it's like, and it touched home when he was playing with the figures, doing the same things that, you know, I was doing 27 years ago, watching wrestling, playing with the figures, and I needed to show him and my daughter, she's only 2 years old, that, you know, if you put your mind to it, you can achieve anything. Do you understand? Honestly. So here I am, UKW Tag Team Champion, and I wrestle every week on YouTube. It's called Friday Night Showdown. It's obviously filmed at the UKW Arena in Batley, in Leeds. And
you got you got arena. That's sick, man.
Yeah,
that's it. We're gonna put this in the description as well.
I watched a few of the matches that
Thank you.
Make sure you check it out, man.
And it's just been a godsend because at the end of the day, everyone needs a release.
Yeah.
And mine is pro wrestling. And it's like, I've done most things. I was a DJ. I was on Reaction Radio and stuff like that, doing things with like Big H and people like that. Yeah. So, and you know, it's been an absolute journey to find something that I genuinely enjoy and love doing, and it's wrestling. And I think, as I said to you during in the know, it's important for people like, I'm not being big-headed, but people like me to show people of a BAME or ethnic minority that, you know, at the end of the day, wrestling in Britain isn't just for white people.
Yep.
And as I said before the podcast started, I grew up down the road in Tottenham.
Oh man!
I went Cornell.
Do you know Duke 84?
Yeah.
You went school.
Long story short with him.
Big up Duke, by the way.
Big up Duke. Big up Duke 100%. Long story short, I was in 02, and the first time I met him, like properly, I was wearing a Team Canada TNA t-shirt. I went to look at upgrades in the O2 store in Mill Green, and he recognised the t-shirt. And since then, it's like
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what I mean about wrestling. It brings people together.
It really does.
It
really does. It really does.
Make some noise for wrestling.
Like, do you know what I mean? That
sometimes.
that you don't have the, like, let's say if I was wearing like another t-shirt, like a Newcastle United t-shirt, because I'm a Newcastle fan, Duke would never have connected with me.
He would probably look to him and be like, oh, it's
Scum.
fan. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm not going to chat to this guy. Because I was wearing that Team Canada t-shirt, like, I've got a brother for life.
Yeah.
And that's mad. Just from one, one meet-up, chance meet-up, because he was older than me in school. One chance meet-up, and I've got a brother for life. Obviously, like, music-wise, he taught me how to do things on machine.
He's cool. He's co-producer, by the way, man. Go check out his beats.
And it's phenomenal what wrestling can do, especially when you're looking for it, so to speak. Like, one of my best mates that I know started messaging me on Twitter because I had the picture of me meeting Chris Jericho.
Crazy.
In WrestleMania 28.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's a nice picture. Didn't think anything of it. Now I speak to the lad every day.
Mad.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
And now I've met him several times, and it's it's just
Same
a connection.
Same love.
And it's like, again, with Roy Johnson as well.
Big up Roy.
Big up Roy.
Everything pattern.
Make some noise for Roy.
Everything pattern. What's that? 25th of March?
23rd of March at the Dome.
Yeah, we've got to be there, man.
And again with Roy, met him in Miami, WrestleMania 28.
Yeah, he told us about it. He told us,
Yeah. And it's like, again, that's a chance meeting between two brothers who just have the common interest of wrestling. And I've known him, it's crazy that I've known him 10 years.
10 years.
Crazy, man.
10 years that I've known the guy. And then obviously with you lot as well, interacting with you lot on Twitter, interacting with you on In The Know, it's mental. Wrestling's mental.
I just want to say, I just want to give you your flowers and stuff, but bro, when you done the first episode of In The Know with, like, the way you pushed it out and where you like told people about us and the way you done it, like it was very like, bro, you helped us a lot, man. I don't
Honestly,
thank you.
From day one.
I appreciate you so much, like to the point where like you were saying, guys, I think you should jump on this. You should jump on this, and people coming on. Our subscribers are going up.
Yeah, a lot of the guests I had on was because of you. Honestly,
people say, "I see JPR's interview. I want to do it as well."
Yeah,
so I just want to say, bro, thank you very much, man. God bless you.
That's more than okay. Because at the end of the day, what I've always said to people is, you've helped me out 100%. You helped my name get across, and you had people like Riley Andrews, and then on the
big up Riley, I love him.
Riley Andrews. You had Anderson North. You had Jackson Hart. You had Nathan Cruz.
That one was crazy.
Wow,
that one was crazy.
Do you know what it is? I'm listening to that. Like, obviously, when I do In The Know with, I play it back on. Not that I listen to what you're saying, because it's a long hour, right?
Yeah.
Same thing I do the podcast. I play it on like double speed, and it's cool. So you listen to it. But when I listen to Nathan, I was like, fam, this guy's been here, this guy's been there, this guy knows this guy. I'm like, fam, this is crazy.
Yeah, Nathan Cruz's one was just crazy.
Even the fact that he
literally just DM'd him, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm thinking, fuck, okay.
The fact that he even cut the interview and he came back, he said more stuff.
Cut the interview. I think that one was probably longer. That was like 2 hours, yeah.
And Nathan Cruz, I learned from Nathan Cruz. Nathan Cruz is one of the reasons why I'm sat here today with a belt.
Crazy.
Because I learned so much from him, and like on a professional level and as a person as well, Nathan Cruz is there.
Yeah.
And obviously, so when I saw him on In The Know, I thought, hey, you know what? Good on you guys. And good on him. And it's like, if you guys have just gone from strength to strength to strength to strength. But whilst you've done that, you haven't forgotten about me.
Never, bro.
Oh, never, man.
And that's the maddest thing.
That's the real.
You see that saying?
I'm waiting for your faction, bro. I'm waiting for your faction.
You see when we say by the man for the man, yeah, bro? We don't say that for bands. We mean it, bro. We mean it, bro. It's you're with us, bro.
And it's like it's this little, like as I was saying to NK before this program rolled, before this podcast rolled. When obviously I used to live in Tottenham, but now I'm just a little guy in a little village, who's from a little country called the Seychelles. And I'm seeing retweets and likes on Twitter, on Instagram, and I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm nobody. And I will always be just like everybody in this room. Yeah. So to see us go from strength to strength, whether it be us wrestlers, or, like people who produce stuff, it's all a journey.
Yeah.
And you know, we're here for it. And obviously all the positivity that you guys have got, you deserve. You fucking deserve it. Thank you. Do you understand?
Honestly, bro, I don't know what to call this episode because this episode is giving me like celebrational. It's giving me celebration things, bro.
And even the people you mentioned, like Anderson North, Riley Andrews, Jackson Hart, and everyone else, it's like
Jet Marshall.
Big up. Like I felt like like you said when you met your best friend, like even with just Wresthings, like as much as I know a lot of the guys before, but even with some of the wrestlers, it's like I've actually met people that I can actually connect with for life, like, especially yourself as well. Like me and you talk often as well.
Definitely.
And I'm just thinking like, fuck, it's actually crazy. Like this thing about mandem in pants just pretending to hold each other and doing suplex, like it's actually built a bond
between everyone.
And it's like it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Like I think for me that's probably like the most important thing. It's like the wrestling aspect is cool, talking about it every week is all cool, but what people don't actually understand is like even outside of this is like we've like a lot of us, like I said, a lot of us knew each other from before anyways. Like a lot of us went uni with each other, but it's built a bond where it's like it's absolutely crazy. And even with like the mandem that we've met through the podcast, it's like it wouldn't make sense if I see these people outside and I see them in trouble and I don't ever help them. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? I feel weird. You know what I'm saying? Like we chat every day, basically.
More or less.
Every day we all talk. You know what I mean? We chat every day. Do you know what I mean? And it's like it's mad weird even to think of it. It's like fam, like we're actually friends with wrestlers as well.
That's what's mad.
That's mad.
The interview that I done on Monday, innit? Big up Sports Shift. It's gonna come out very soon.
Big up Sports Shift.
I was talking about fam. It's just mad how far we've come. Like we were watching flipping WrestleMania in our bedroom, fam. In Portsmouth. And look where we are now, fam. Like
we're still watching in our bedrooms.
I can message Roy now. I can message JPR. I can message Mekz. I can message
Warren Banks.
Skillet is the one that spins because I'm a bit bro. I saw Skillet's like music videos skiing back in the day. Me and my boy used to say it all the time. Skiing. If you guys know about Skillet skiing, go check it out.
Big up Skillet, man.
Fam.
Every day.
When I messaged him, I said, yo, we're wrestling podcast, check us out. And he obviously had Kick Out, I know about Kick Out. And he replied back, fam. I got so gassed. I was like, fam, Skillet replied back, Skillet, he wants to come to the podcast. When he came to flip and do whose song is it? Bro.
Starstruck.
I was gassed. I didn't know how to act. I was like, fam, that's Skillet, you know.
When I met Shotty Horror, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know what to say.
Shotty.
I do it. It's like
big up Shotty, man.
The thing with Shotty, the thing that spins me about Shotty, is like, especially with every other wrestler that we meet, it's like, bro, you don't understand how much of a big fan of
it. It doesn't make sense.
I grew up on watching.
I didn't know. The thing about Shotty, I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand. Yeah, like some days, I look at my phone, like. Wow, like I actually have Shotty's number, like Shotty. I remember you tweeted like the quote. Why is Shotty quoting me? Like I ain't quoted your bars. Like I don't have literally. If you go on my phone on YouTube, liked videos, don't flop. Shotty Horror versus Arsenal right there. I was watching that when I was in secondary school, saying, "Bruv, look at it, bruv." And it's like there's
Arsenal
even
versus, Shotty versus DNA, Shotty versus John the Don, bro. Charlie Clips. You know what I mean? I was actually meant to go to that battle as well. List goes on. You know what I mean?
It goes, and there's even people like, bro, like it's even big up Gabriel, fam, because it's like, fam, like. I know somebody who's a New Japan wrestler. That's what I'm saying, bro. The hashtag, get it popping now. Get NK to Japan in 2024. I'm not even capping, bro. Get that hashtag going, bro. I'm not even joking, fam.
I've also made a cash app, #, Wresthings. You know, if you wanna buy some drinks or something. It's on the profile, fam. When you put it. Booming. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Two things. When it comes to WWE. If you don't really watch WWE regularly, so I'm just saying I'm talking about everyone because I saw a lot of people upset on the day, and I told you guys the reason why I watch Raw on Mondays is that on Mondays I work till late. I'm always doing stuff after time, so I've got Raw, I've got BT Sport on, and I'm just watching it. If it happens, it happens. I never watch the full show. I always watch the first half and I go to sleep. This week, I found out that a lot of people are watching Raw because they thought Cody Rhodes was going to come out because it's in Jacksonville. What's it like? I'm sorry, but did you really think that was... Obviously, I was going for it. I was on the group chat, I'm not going to lie. I was like, yeah, Cody's going to come out. But I wasn't actually watching it for a man to be like, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't disappointed. What would you think? Big up Gigi, though.
Big up Gigi.
I love you, Gigi. I guess you guys think I'm talking about Gigi. Yeah, I'm talking about Gigi. Gigi, why? Gigi, why? You should have slept, bro. I told you, grab the pillow and the popcorn. Let's go sleep. If I was with Gigi, I would have put you to sleep. Nah, that sounds mad.
What do you mean?
I just shut myself.
You better sleep.
If I was watching Gigi, I would have told Gigi, no, don't even watch this. Just go to bed. Let me clear the table. I watched you do it. So yeah. I chill. I chill, man. Chill. Let me. That's not this. Just chill. Let's not do this.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that is the maddest thing that's been said on this podcast. I think that's the wildest.
Allow me.
A madness has been said on this podcast. I think that is the wildest one.
Allow me. Represent.
That is the maddest. I'm actually in shock.
Bro, you got what I was coming from.
You stopped yourself from
I had to. I did what I was saying, innit? Did you get what I'm saying?
We get what you're saying. It is. You have to remember, you see when it comes to like the poor stuff, it's agenda over what, like, we know what you're trying to say, but in hands, like, if actually deep what you're saying, it sounds bad. But people put themselves through like unprovoked stress. Watching Raw, watching WWE that you don't usually watch.
Sorry, bro.
If you don't usually watch WWE and you've just watched WWE for the sake of seeing Cody, then I mean, what do you expect? You're definitely going to be disappointed.
Do you know when I knew it was going to happen? Because when I was watching it, Seth done this thing backstage, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe we might get it tonight, whatever. If it doesn't happen, it is what it is. Seth done thing was, I've got a plan, and he went backstage, he went into the ring, innit? And from when he didn't do a thing where it was like, oh, cool, I'm doing an open challenge, I'm not wrestling at WrestleMania, I want to do an open challenge. Mm-hmm. And when he didn't say that, and he said something about Stone Cold, I was like, yeah, it's a myth, it's not happening. Because you can't have two in one night.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Even if next week happens now, apparently it's still on paper. Like, they've not agreed that Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins is still on a match on paper.
Mm-hmm.
But next week, if he comes next week and he does the same thing, so if he brings in Kevin Owens again, it's not like, don't expect anything until after
Mania.
And how important are events like Everything Patterned? You know, there's black, I think it's black women draws in America. There's for the culture. There's all these different all black events. How important, and why do you feel like these events should also try to appeal to not just wrestling fans, but just black people in general, to just be able to come and have a space for just to come and enjoy it?
I absolutely feel you, man. And like, here's the thing: at least in America, there is a level of representation. You can't get around us. We there. You know what I'm saying? When I was thinking about Black British wrestling before the pandemic, right? It was just so rare to see people slotted. Like, we're just now getting to an all-black main event at the 10th anniversary with Gresham and Warren Banks, right? So just, Rampage being the only other black wrestler before, right? So before Gresham. So we're in a crazy time where it's like people didn't even know if that would work, if people wanted to see it, because we were so marginalized and edged out, right? So Everything Pattern, like the very first Everything Pattern, important. Roy Johnson, important. There is no For the Culture without Everything Pattern. There is no black wrestling draws. I think it was Black Girl Magic. It was Black Girl Magic. Spice Spiegel, shout out, she's so important. There is none of that without Everything Pattern, because nobody tried it before Everything Pattern. And that was like an emergency cry for over here why that happened, because you'd have whole cards and never see any of us on them. And like, how are you going to say it's the best talent that you can find in England and not one of us is on it? Which was crazy when he put together the first one, because I'll never forget his quote. He was like, there's no way it should have been this easy for me to be able to put the first draft of the card together that I wanted. Like, half of these guys should have been busy already. And somehow I managed to get it. So because Everything Pattern popped off, that's how we got For the Culture. That's how we got all those other places. So it's like they're walking in footsteps, which is great. And that's not me trying to say like he's the first or all that other stuff. I'm just saying they needed to know. And before then, it was question marks on if it would ever succeed. And here we are. And I think we're finding out more and more the more we cling to our authenticity. We don't marginalize our culture. We don't. I guess the word I'm looking for is we're not trying to shade what it is that we are because we're afraid of like what that's gonna look like. People are into it and they want to see it, and it's not just us who need to see it, but it's everybody else because like we're the wave. Like people get the best stuff from us, so we should be able to keep a little. We should be able to brag on a little. We should be able to showcase a little, right?
Yeah, 100%. So I'm going to put you on the spot here. So let's so let's say that you are the black wrestling liaison. So you're the middleman that everybody comes to. So great power comes. You're the black liaison for wrestling. The task is for you to bring 3 black American wrestlers to the UK and 3 black British wrestlers to the US. Oh, no. Wait till you get to the podcast. We've got the hard questions there. Okay. But yeah, 3 black American wrestlers to come here and 3 black British wrestlers to go to America. Which 3?
Okay, if we're doing Brits, I need Darius. They don't even know about Darius yet. Like Darius ain't never gonna want to come home. Let Darius do a show in Miami and see if they let him go home.
I'll still a show in Miami. Do you think we're coming back home?
Ooh, he got a little accent. He be rapping like, ooh, like Darius ain't gonna go home. Like somebody gonna catch him up. Like that's a wrap. Warren Banks. I think the world of Warren Banks. I need Warren Banks everywhere, and he's only growing with every match. My third spot is definitely gonna have to go to I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised I'm not seeing her here today. I hope she's well and everything like that. I guess I got to give it to somebody active, but I don't know where she's been. Any word on Shakara?
Funny enough, no. I'm not just
weird that like now things are back in swing and I ain't heard from her. I think she's amazing.
Yeah, she came on our podcast a few months ago, and then I'm not too sure what's happened since then.
Right. So I mean, if you out there, you important. Like I think the world of your work and all that stuff, but you already knew that. If we had to give it to somebody active right now, like I'd love to see Mercedes Blaze get out there. Like I think amazing, she's underrated, like super underrated. Like how she gets down. If we're talking about 3 Americans that I want to see come over here, because I know it would be his dream to come over here, Lee Moriarty. He needs this. Like this man got a contract and he's living good and everything's all good. He would kill to come over here to do that. Like, if it was between, like, hey, we need you to do this at AEW or come to England for a little bit, he's coming to England. Like, he wants to do that, so I hope to see him over here when that happens. I need Lee Moriarty. She's already been, so I can't do that one. I was going to say Big Swole. Let me get Tootie Lynn from NWA. She's young. Martial arts background. She's only growing. She's only getting better. I think she would kill it if she was given the proper opportunity. And then last one on my list for an extended stay. I think he hit Germany, but he ain't really getting no stuff popping off over here. Give me Fred Yehi.
Crazy. He's crazy
in real life and in the ring. But like Fred, he has some people talking. Like, and I'm just thinking about all the potential matchups between Progress, between Rev Pro, between like Wrestle Carnival, all these places. You got talent. Fred can have matches with all of them, and they all hit. Like they all would be awesome. But those would be my picks. Those would be my trades.
I'd say you're a very good liaison. You've done a good job, bro. You've done a good job. I'm gonna chat to the management. Let's see if we could do that, man. And lastly, before we wrap it up, in your best British accent, I want you to let me know how gassed you are for tonight's show. In your best British accent, I need to know how gassed you are for every battle. The stage is yours, sir.
I got to do my best Mo Gilligan. It might be easier. I don't think I'll embarrass myself when I put the Giza accent. You know, I was chatting to my boy Steve, you know what I'm saying, and Dave, you know, and we said that, you know, when we come to everything pattern, you know what I mean? If I put it in the fucking oven, I expect it to be cooked, you know what I'm saying? This thing's gonna be lit. It's gonna be off the chain. And now my Southern's coming back, but I can't help it. I tried to hold it, but I can't do it. Thanks for having me. Cannot wait to do the entire podcast.
Where can they find you?
They can find me at Sugar Dunkerton, FASHO, so that's pronounced for show. Shout out to Omar, he's the one that put that in my lexicon. Also, like, you can find me at these shows, like, doing what it is that we do. I always have my schedule out there and whatnot. Please support just good professional wrestling, support good black professional wrestling, support good black arts and everything around it. Like, this was important to me to do because, like, y'all are the culture. Y'all are moving us forward. Y'all are putting the effort in, and a lot of times that stuff is unsung. So thank you. We need more stuff like this. We need more outlets. I want y'all to grow as high as y'all can go. Then y'all can start sending me residuals for Super Dry check. Because I need that. And Super Dry quit playing with me. I need that sponsorship. I make your shit look good.
Hey, introducing the newest member of the Wresthings podcast.
Take a seat, bro. Take a seat, bro.
Wait, who's this guy with the glasses? You look
know who he
familiar.
is.
Who's my man with the glasses?
Yes. Oh, wow.
Oh, the shades. Come
Michael
on.
Jackson.
Are we still meant to be acting? I don't understand.
I don't know, but let's run of it.
So this is where the big boys play, huh? What's up, people? My name's Mekz. I'm a wrestling fan, wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleMania.
Here to stay.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am the newest member of the Wresthings podcast.
I can't lie. The latest signing.
This one we have to keep under wraps for a very long time.
Is it?
Obviously, there's another announcement which literally right in front of us. We're gonna do that as well. But this one I have to keep under wraps for a very long time. I'm gassed to have Mekz, be part of this podcast. He's got a lot to contribute. I want you to even tell you what you want. Like, I want you to even explain that as well. A lot to contribute. We've been, say we've been working for time, but this one's a permanent thing. Do you get what I mean? This one's for life now.
He's
and
giving super faction.
Trust me, fam. Yeah, talk to us. What are you looking to bring to the podcast, bro?
Listen,
what the actual thing?
When my 90 days was up, when my 90 days no compete was up, I was presented with a lucrative offer from the general managers over at Wresthings.
Come on, man.
And there was a lot of good stuff there on the table. The brand is going in a good direction. I take the opportunity to work with the Japanese correspondent. Take the opportunity to have an argument with Mr. Controversial. Take the opportunity to chop it up with the married master man, Lucha V. Take the opportunity for straight vibes with the big back killer, King Lax.
I was waiting for that one.
Take an opportunity to chill with the Cargill maniac himself, Gop Daddy Del Boy. Take the opportunity to create motion pictures, A1 content with the VHS Papi and Nafi. So the Mandem have come together. A lot of the stuff you've seen previously on my channel, the content you enjoyed, will be migrating over to Wresthings channel with loads of new episodes, loads of new stuff as well. So yeah, man, when the coolest content creator in wrestling comes and mixes it up with the coolest wrestling podcast, what you gotta do?
I like it.
What you gonna do?
Make some fucking noise for Mekz, man.
What you gonna do when Wresthings and WrestleMania run over you, sucker?
I can't like. It's been.
Hulk Hogan, we want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you.
YouTube, we coming for you.
YouTube, we're coming for you.
I feel like this has been a long time coming, man.
I was gonna say something mad.
What?
Yeah, carry on.
Been a long time coming, man.
Soviet Union.
when the conversation came past, we had to basically, we made it happen, innit? We had to basically make it happen, man. And Mekz, I've been a big fan of Mekz for a very long time, ever since you guys exposed him to me, innit? So, and bro, the hard work doesn't go like we've always said, the hard
Mekz, the work you're putting in is paid off.
So on our channel, you'll be seeing stuff like tier rankings. You'll be seeing what's the other show that we've got?
Break It Down.
Break It Down.
So there's new shows.
Live streams now that we're going to be doing. New shows that we're going to be working with Mekz. So there's a lot that we're going to be doing now, man. And, well, this is not ending here, man. There's plenty more stuff we can add to this show, add to this network. We're going to call it a network now, because that's what we're calling it, by Wrestling's Network. But, yeah, there's many more things to happen, man. So, yeah, man. I'm gassed, bro. That's it.
Welcome. Thank you for having me, guys.
I
I won't be here all the time. As much as I can.
But yeah, I'll try to leave my imprint and everything else that you see. That's Wresthings. And yeah, firstly, June 5th, you know, all the smoke. That's the next stop.
Yeah.
Pull up on me.
2 days from when this podcast actually drops.
Yeah.
So
pull up on me.
And if you wrestling content creators are tired of your producers, you know, dancing all your videos, come over to Wrestling's Network, man. And we out.
Yeah, for real, man.
Man, like Suge Knight.
You get me? It's a fucking lifestyle out here, mate. See all you wrestling content creators and all that. Come over to the docks.
Wait, what's going on? Late reaction, carry on. Late reaction.
I thought I said something.
No. Late reaction.
Come over, man. We're going to look after you, know what I'm saying?
What we saying for this thing here?
We like that. Wait to the end.
You sure?
Yeah, wait to the end. Let's let people concentrate on what we actually want to talk about today.
Cool.
At the end.
Come on.
Does what he does, beats you
He
effectively.
didn't beat me though, did he? I kept calling him back, yeah, and then eventually he walked away. How does it work? We go out this side of this building.
Leave the dog.
You're in your feelings, man.
I'm not in my feelings.
Leave the go-go stuff, man. Leave the go-go
No,
stuff.
listen.
No, but
how does it work?
We're not talking about match. We're talking about wrestling. We're not taking a piss.
Don't film, bro.
It's like he's lost.
I didn't.
We enjoyed the match.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, and then I chased him up to Liverpool as well, and I told him what I thought of him, and I smashed him up there as well.
Hey, Tate, I just want to say on these guys' behalf, like,
yes,
I want to apologise.
No,
I'm not to apologise.
Sorry for him. Don't feel sorry for him. Relax, bro.
Well, you're acting like I got smashed by a go-go.
Bro,
when I
you
didn't
lost.
I haven't lost.
But you got pinned though.
I've never lost a program. I've never lost.
No, but I feel like because I feel like like when people come to Wrestlings, they want to see us be authentic and be like, we rate you, but we can't sit and lie to the people. There, you lost, my bro.
We're still recording, bro.
Like no, but like you have to be.
You're not the thing is.
I have never lost.
I'm a fan.
They try to say that I lost to Big Guns Joe.
But you did.
I didn't know. Because submission doesn't count.
Sit.
What do you mean? What are you laughing at?
I'm out of it.
I can't even lie.
Submission doesn't count.
Relax, man.
Relax, man. Like, this is why he has to relax. Relax, man. Chill, man.
I haven't lost the progress.
You know what? Fuck it, bro. You lost, yeah. You lost, bro. You have to do it.
No, you gotta pay me respect. You gotta pay me respect.
Get out then.
I will get out.
I can't lie. Big man thing, yeah. Big man thing, yeah. No.
Myself, yeah. I got beat by submission. It doesn't count. What the fuck?
You see when these you wrestlers when you come on Wrestlings here. When you wrestlers come on Wrestlings, I beg. If we point out you lost. You lost.
What the fuck?
I cut the episode.
No, jokes.
No, bro, you know me.
I won't lie, but these wrestlers can't come and think they can come stick it on man. You know we're from a different breed.
You know me.
The thing's still on. Let's wrap it up. Let's
if you know me, you see when I start laughing, it's long. So let's leave it.
Let's go. Guys, on the rule, guys, on the rule,
let's end the podcast, bro. It's calm.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there. I get that.
You know me, so it's calm.
Man,
I think that's your mate, and you brought him here. And
do you know it's man? Look, this whole episode's been fucking awkward. I can't lie.
No, but come on,
I'm gonna chat to Tate after, man.
We'll call him, bro. Stop it, bro.
Guys, it's been episode 124. Yeah, we'll catch you next one, man. Fuck.
It's been a naffy. No, go on, bro. Give it to them.
Bro, I can't lie. The moral's gone down, bro.
It's bro, we're cool. Let's be real. Nobody is touching us. Impossible. As long as there's no GoFundMe saying donate to Derek's funeral, nobody's saying nothing to us.
Let's go. It's been a naffy.
Del boy, fam. Your fucking boy Sam Black's the baddest. I'm chatting shit. Come on, fam.
Like they're nice people though. The Japanese people, they're nice people. I got lost one time. Like I went out somewhere. Because it was like certain, like Monday, I think it was, like you could go out on a dojo to go chill and go see Japan and whatever. So I was like, I went out to Tokyo and then I must have come back. And bro, it's not like how it works here. So like if the 140 bus or whatever bus goes one way, the 140 bus comes back the same way the other way, right?
Yeah.
But they don't have numbers. They have like weird signs or whatever their language is, right? Yeah. So like the Y bus was going that way. So when man jumped on the Y bus to come back, it went that way. So I was like, like completely the wrong direction. So I must have fell asleep, and then when I woke up, I was just in this middle of this field somewhere. You know what I mean? Pull out my phone. Phone is dead. Got no phone. Got no idea where I am. I'm trying to like. There's one guy's like going by on his bike or whatever. I'm like, sorry, bro, can you help me or whatever? He's just looking at me like that. Don't touch me, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm just like, oh shit, well, this is it. This is where I die now, isn't it? So
at least I got the training though.
But yeah, so I was like, I literally had no idea what to do. So like, I was like, cool. So whenever a car went by, I just stood there. There wasn't like no bus stop as well. It's not like I'm gonna jump on a bus stop. He just stopped the bus and the guy was like, go. I was like, oh fuck, that's it then, isn't it? So I was just standing there hitchhiking, man. Literally, I stood there hitchhiking. Yeah, and then literally the bus driver didn't come. Some guy came. Yeah. And he pulled over, and he looked, and he put down his window, and I was like to him, bro, I need to get somewhere. And he was like, no. And I was like, oh fuck. And then I had the card, business card for the dojo. So I was like, I need to get to here. And he was like, all right, cool. So he's like, okay. He rolled up his window and he went.
Well, he took the card and went.
He just took the card and he went.
No way!
So I just left there, yeah. So I'm like,
wait, he didn't come back.
No, you get this, yeah. So I'm standing
still
there.
got the card till today?
No. To catch the story, right? So I'm like, I'm standing there, like, I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, this guy has taken my card. He's gone now. I got no phone. I'm like in this field. I'm like literally looking around, like, where can I sleep? Like on this rice patty. He was like, let's see what happens. And then
at least you got the training though.
You know what I mean? Yeah, at least I got the training. But to be fair to him, he after about an hour, he must have spun around. I think he must have had his daughter in the back.
I went to go drop her home and come back.
Oh, smart move, yeah. Like as a dad. Yeah. Me, I was pissed, but obviously as a dad, he made a smart move, right? Because not like no lie, like when I sat in the car, I was like, I don't know what this guy's on. He's just gone and come back. I don't know if he's come back with a butcher's or whatever. He's come back to finish man off. So the whole time I'm sitting in this car, I'm just like, yeah, clenched up, like with the fist ready to go just again. You know, he sized him up before I sat in. I was like, I reckon I take this guy, but.
Do you reckon he had the training as well, maybe?
Bro, maybe I don't know, bro. but yeah, brother took me back all the way to the dojo. I tried to pay him. Man was like, nah, you just like, no. You dropped me off there, let me go. I was like, yeah, cool, man.
Oh, that's
appreciate
nice.
it. Yeah, so
that was UK.
Yeah, you're finished.
You're finished.
It's done.
What's mad? UK, that probably set you up.
Yeah.
We went to the probably take somewhere like some forest in like Epping.
Yeah. Fully like here's some booting. Like you're not.
Trust me, yeah, you fucking cunt. Fucking UK, mate. Oh, yeah.
Wow, what a year. That's just some of our best bits. But if there's something that you really enjoyed from the podcast this year and it wasn't in this video, hit us with a comment, hit us with a tweet on Twitter at Wresthings on Twitter. Let us know what that favorite moment of yours was. Once again, guys, we appreciate you got every single time. Thanks for all your support, all the love you give us on our videos, on Twitter, online in general. Those that have supported our coffee, letting us just have some refreshments at podcast. We appreciate every single one of you guys. Keep spreading the great news of what Wresthings is doing, and we have a lot coming for you guys in 2023. Jump on the bandwagon now before it's too late, yeah? We appreciate you guys. Like I said, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a review if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music as well. And we'll catch you in the new year. Happy New Year to all of you. Wresthings, for the man them, by the man them.
You just got to the end of the podcast, and if you enjoyed what you've listened to, enjoyed what you watched, enjoyed the vibes, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bow.